Hey, good morning. Says I'm live. Something also popped up, said I'm out of storage, so I don't know what in the world that means. Good morning, everybody. Zach, Best Life, Moonchild. Never got that email, Moonchild. I don't know what's up with you. Tony Smith, my brother. Dio Vindici. Um, well, I don't know. Zach and Jeremy didn't come on, so I was just sitting here mulling things over and thought I'd do maybe a quick thing. I don't know. I'm up for a while. It was primary election day here in West Virginia. And man, I meant to be doing lives and getting ready for that. And I put it off and put it off and put it off. All of a sudden, here it is, the 10th. I mean, I'm behind. Mother's Day snuck on me. I didn't even think that was going to be till next weekend. Here it was last weekend. So nothing got done for that. So anyway, I went down to vote today. They have totally eliminated paper ballots in the state of West Virginia. And I have always been adamant. You know, they had the machine sitting there in the middle of the room, and I said, no, 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 no. You give me the paper. And I went in there today, and of course, they know me. And the first words out of their mouth was, "Hey, Tom, no paper ballot." I said, "What are you talking about? I don't do anything but paper ballot." And they said, "You got no choice." So there you go. Let me take just a second and set this YouTube thing up here. View on YouTube. And then I got to make sure the volume's down. There we go. I'm going to open it up. I don't think I'm really ready for guests just yet because I still got a little bit of bitching to do, but the link's will be there if anybody wants to come. Yeah, there we go. Pin message. All right. So anyway, I don't remember how many machines they got. There was, I want to say maybe 4. This is a really small community, so if you had a half a dozen people voting at the same time, that would be a major crowd, you know. So usually, me and my wife can go sit down at a table together and kind of collaborate and do the same thing. And up till now, there hadn't been too much need to discuss the election. So we go in there, and now she's in one corner of the room and I'm in the other corner of the room. Of course, you're not allowed to talk politics in there. So it, God knows what, probably neither one of our votes counted for shit. But this bothers me, man. You go in there, and I guess all of you know what those. Well, congratulations, Tony. I'd personally rather not. Well, there's no way I can be a grandfather again, so that it is what it is. And my grandson's coming up. Well, he is 19 years old, so I could be a great grandfather here. But I'd rather that didn't happen too. Stuart, good to see you. Anyway, uh, they give you a swab, like one of those things they're going to shove up your nose to check you for whatever it was that was happening. Cotton swab to touch the damn screen with. I guess they don't want fingerprints on the screen. All these people in the election, all these officials. Hell, I went to high school with these people, so you know I can get away with a certain amount of stuff. So I said, well, should I touch this thing to the end of my tongue to make sure that this? He didn't appreciate that. Whatever. But anyway, you do this, and it gives you a receipt. If you can remember what you did, you could verify what you did. And so this big receipt comes out. I don't know, it's 3-4 inches wide, maybe 18 long, because it's a small election. And then you go to another machine, and you feed it in, and it snatches it out of your hand, allegedly counts the votes, but you never see it again. And you don't get anything to take home with you. Well, they offer these "I voted" stickers, and I think they're stupid, so I didn't take one of them. But yeah. Now, another thing that really bothered me on this ballot, there was a full third. I swear to God, it was a full third, and it may have been as many as half of the positions that we're supposed to be voting for. No candidate filed. This is a problem, folks, because that means ain't nobody getting involved. Virginia Roots, so happy to see you, Garrett, my man. Annalisa, welcome. Ms. Ghetto, glad to see you. No candidate filed. And this goes back to what I was bitching about back in the winter, that I don't get involved with politics. Folks, politics is involved with you. And if you don't get involved back, politics is ruining our lives. And not get involved, it's sad. It's sad. And this county, man, you know, I'm 69 years old. It's too late for me to be, I wouldn't know what in the hell to do. You know, I wouldn't know what in the hell to run for. But I think, man, I wish some of these younger people would start caring about what's going on. You know, maybe a few trips to the gas pump over the summertime. Summer, welcome. Boris, good to see you. I don't know. People are going to be hurting. People are going to be hurting bad by November. But we need to encourage these younger people. That's an obvious thing to me now, that they got to start getting involved. Or else they're going to sit in mom's house and play video games while the world collapses around their ears. I don't know. So that was my big election experience. It's disturbing. It really is. I thought I had been, you know, talking it up in the neighborhood, and when I go to the store and stuff, I don't go out that much. But shit, y'all, we got to encourage our younger folks to get involved in this stuff. The world's collapsing around our ears. I was talking to my cousin down South Carolina. He lives in a small town. It's a lot bigger. It's a city compared to my town, but it's a small town. And the mayor down there was elected by 12 votes. A couple other of the county offices, he said, won 6, 1 8. Hey, thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Thought you forgot about me. And, you know, we're thinking all these candidates, they can run and you can have your election. A couple people on the telephone with a good campaign could generate a write-in campaign that it would have upset that whole thing. He said you could take over the whole damn town with a telephone and a few calls. So, Virginia, I want to ask if it's about your criminal record, but I won't do that. Hey, bug out. Good to see you, man. So yeah, you know, that's important. Why I've been stressing, you know, we got to get people out to the polls, because that's kind of scary. The mayor of a town only won by 12 votes. And to think that a good telephone / write-in campaign could have changed the whole way that town's being run. And there's no complaints about the way my cousin's town's being run. So, you know, criminal element could take it over. Who knows? But Other than that, I didn't have a whole lot to bitch about. I've been following this deal with the Supreme Court projected decision. That's what I'll call it, because ain't nothing in stone with that. But you got people that made these judges' addresses, home addresses, public. And now I'm seeing videos of people standing around in front of their houses, I guess all night. They're screaming. Nobody's getting any sleep. People are feeling threatened. And there's supposed to be a federal law against intimidating judges and or jurists. Moose Man, so good to see you. Federal law. And this has been going on for days. It should have been stopped within the first couple of hours. And we have a federal attorney general by the name of Merrick Garland, who is an absolute piece of shit weasel. You can tell he's a weasel by looking at him. If you heard any of his testimony before the Senate here 3 weeks ago, this guy is a pathetic piece of shit. And isn't he violating federal law by not instructing law enforcement agencies to enforce federal law? You realize that if it gets to the point where we're able to intimidate judges, we got no law. Yeah, Summer, it's totally not okay, and especially judges. You shouldn't protest in front of anybody's house. You know, that's ridiculous. You can have any beef with me that you want. You can call me out publicly on YouTube. I don't care. You come to my house, and that's a different story. And let me tell you something. You come inside my fence, better not, because I ain't having it. I ain't having that. Federal judge afraid to make a decision based on his best belief of constitutional law. These people, something's got to be done with these people. I don't know. I got ideas that I don't dare articulate, but exactly, Moose Man. It's not outlawing anything. It's turning it back to the states where it belongs. But I know people that are just so upset and up in arms. Exactly, Summer. You know, peaceful protest, make your voice heard. Yeah, Boris, I think some examples need to be made, and I think they ought to be pretty impressive examples, put it that way. I hear you, Summer. Stay out of my, get off of my lawn. I'm that age. Hey, Jeep, good to see you. Good to see you. I'll have to give you a call one of these days. I'm heading down your way in 5 weeks or so. Maybe we can have that cup of coffee we were talking about. Hoot owl. Good to see you too. I thought I had posted a link if anybody wants to try to come up. It's good with me. Let's see if anybody else has an opinion or belief or concern or argument. I'm up. And my throat's starting to feel dry. That's generous, Summer. But you know, why is it that people who were barricades were moved out of their way so they could get into the Capitol? Some of those folks are still sitting in jail. And these people can actually go to the home of a Supreme Court justice and try to intimidate them, which is far more illegal than any trespassing that might take place. Good evening, Miss Virginia Roots. I hope.
Yeah. What's up? Hey, man, do you have that widescreen? You know how I love to see your whole shoulder length.
Who, me?
Yeah, the white where we're like our boxes are widescreen. It's always weird smushed up in this little box, even though, well,
You're not
close.
okay. You're talking about you're in
Yes, this
ghetto.
one.
I swear.
Yes. And then it's not just your from ear to ear, we can see your shoulders.
Oh, okay. Have you seen my new shirt?
I don't think so. What is Oh, let's go. I love that.
Story behind that. A neighbor bought that for me. She had gone to some store, I don't know where, with a friend of hers, and they had all these shirts. And my neighbor didn't know what Let's Go Brandon meant. And she was told, well, it's just a nice way of saying what's on the flag on Tom's porch, which says, fuck Joe Biden.
Right.
And I'm very proud of that. So anyway, the neighbor decided, well, he's got to have one of those shirts. So she bought the shirt. Now, I'm a smoker, have been a smoker all my life, and I will not wear a shirt that doesn't have a pocket. So my lovely wife sewed a pocket on it.
Oh, for the pack. I love it.
Here it is, under the arm.
Oh, bless her heart. That is so sweet.
And it's really more handy than a pocket right in front because it doesn't show, it doesn't bulge, and it's like a concealed carry cigarettes.
Right? Dude, your concealed bag that we looked at the other day, really impressive. Beautiful.
Now, what did you say?
You had a Ghetto called it a fanny pack, but you had a bag, a conceal bag, and it was really cool. What's up, Summer?
Okay, hey Summer, how you doing?
What up? How you doing? Huh?
I'm glad to have you.
Yeah, I was looking all over YouTube. I'm like, who's live? Somebody's got to be live. I'm bored.
So what you doing tonight?
Working at the village, doing third shift again. So it's pretty cool. Everybody's kind of chilling. We got one girl watching TV. We found out we got 2 women having babies. So That's awesome. They got a safe place to be and all that. So that's good. You know, I'm big on protesting. Anybody can watch on my channel. I do a lot of, matter of fact, we've got like 2 or 3 rallies planned this weekend. But I believe in safety. I believe in not going to people's homes. I believe in not burning down cities. I believe in marching. I believe in being vocal on no matter what belief system you're on, right? Because I fight for people to all share their opinions, even if we don't agree. I feel like that's our right as American, and we should be allowed to do that. And so I'm a little bit different when it comes to protesting because, again, you know, I mean, I stand up for what I believe in and what I believe is right. But I don't think you should go to people's homes. I don't think you should, you know what I mean? Do all that. I don't agree with that. Yeah, there's boundaries. And so the only time I've ever went to anybody's home, which wasn't really because I wanted to, but we had a bunch of little old ladies, and they wanted to do a sit-in, and they did. And I was just like, oh boy, here we go. You know what I mean? It was like literally a half an hour. It was timed and all that. But that was the only time. I'm talking about, like, you know, 80, 90-year-old women that were sitting, and they were no, but at the same time as them being my elders and I respect them, I'm going to make sure that they're good. And everybody was good. Everybody was safe, and we're not doing that again. But you know what I mean? I don't agree because, you know, one thing is you can't expect everybody in somebody's household. That's their safety spot, right? That's where their kids. You come to my house and you even think about making my atmosphere dangerous, you're going to pay the consequences. And it's not good. I'm not calling the police. You know what I mean? I don't play that. Like, so, and I understand why so many women and so many people are scared. I think that's what a lot of this is because I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. And I understand people say that the state's thing and all that, but there's a lot attached to all this, more than just abortions. But I think there's a way of, I do believe there is a way of doing things, and I will be doing that this weekend. So,
but I'm not gonna say that. I will say
what's
this.
up, AC?
Hey, Summer, how you doing,
Hey,
young lady?
AC.
Hi, Virginia. Tom, thank you for letting me come up. I'm gonna say this. I don't agree with abortion.
Mhm.
And I have done my research, and Summer, I'm gonna say this now. You were wrong. There's an institute. There's an institute that does Planned Parenthood that breaks it down. It's
So, and
less than 7%, and they surveyed like 2.5 million people that's having abortion. So that's
well, what I was
Planned
wrong.
Parenthood actually asked them when they go in to have it why they're doing it.
So the statistics that I was saying actually isn't wrong. That's actually statistics that are true. What I was wrong on, though, and I've been waiting to be able to see you because, hey, if I look into something and I say that, hey, this is what it is, and then it's not, what I was wrong was the California law. They are actually trying to make that a law, and that is something that I will fight against because I don't think that that's okay. I do stand for safe abortions 100%. But I do not agree with, if something happens to a baby and there's not any kind of investigation. And we're talking about after a baby's born.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. I stand on safe abortions. I will always stand on safe abortions, regardless of what my personal view is. That doesn't matter. Now, the thing in California, that's fucked up. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. So that part, AC, and I've been waiting. And every time I catch your live, I'm like, shit, I can't go up because I didn't want to write that in the comments. But I am woman enough to say, because you told me, and I was like, no, there's no fucking way that could happen. I'm sorry, Tom. I was like, no, there's no way that could happen because I was just like, that's so absurd. We're talking about a child that's been born, and then a week after its birth, if something happens, there won't be a death investigation. Nah, I'm not with that.
Well, wait a minute. What if it's an ugly baby?
No, there is no ugly babies. There's just little old men and old women in bodies.
I'm sorry. I had to do that.
I'm going to say this now. I want to protect all life because I don't even believe in the death penalty. I know what the Bible says, an eye for an eye.
Right.
But I am so pro-life, and I guess it's because of what I believe in, that I don't believe in the death penalty. And it has to be extreme circumstances for me to actually, sort of like with the abortion law, I think it should be like it was in the 90s. Safe, legal, and rare.
Yeah.
Rare keyword. An eye for an eye doesn't work, but I do
it doesn't.
in the death penalty.
Well,
and using the word rare with that as well. It should be incredibly rare, but I do believe it.
rare.
Yeah.
Because me and Summer had a discussion one night when we got off a panel. Me and her had a discussion, and I'm like, I can see where she's coming from. Would I want a baby with what she told me and everything? Would I want a baby in that situation? No. I would not want that. So I do appreciate Summer because it does make me think.
And I appreciate AC because as pro-life as he is and as pro-choice as I am, we can both see each other's point of views. We both hear each other, right? And I think in this topic particular, a lot of people, and I get it, I understand it. I understand why people are pro-life. I do. I get it. You're talking to a woman that has 10 children, okay? So it's not like I'm just out here, with a punch card or whatever. But at the same time, just like I had the right to make the decision what I thought was safe for me and my baby, I believe that, other people should have that choice. And the only reason is because the opposite of that, what scares me is we find in women, just the whole reason why this law was even put in place is, and those are not, grab emotional points. People were actually bleeding to death, all over the place. So that's the only thing is I think if we take it off the table that we really have to think about. But Could it be right? Yeah. Could things be monitored and all that kind of stuff? 100%. And that goes for anything. Like Virginia said, the death penalty. I support it. I don't always agree with it, but I do support it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate me and AC being able to. We were on there for like a couple hours, and we both talked, and I 100% understand and respect where he stands at, right? And so that, I think, that's something that we all have to get better at, because instead of hearing each other out, not saying to hear each other to change your mind, stand on what you believe in. You always should. That's why it's your belief, but don't stand on it so firm that you can't have empathy for the next person and try to even kind of understand. Not saying you change your beliefs, but just listen to each other. And not just on this topic, but on so many topics. We're not listening. We're hearing each other yelling on what point we believe in. Just because we believe that doesn't mean we're right and doesn't mean we're wrong. It's just it's our belief system.
And that's why I love Summer so much. She does make me think about different things, because I'm a man. I know they say a man shouldn't be in this discussion, but the thing about it, the reason I'm so passionate about it, I don't know if you know it, Tom, but I know Virginia does. I know Summer does. I'm a survivor of an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel the way that I do, and it might cloud my judgment at times, yes, and I will admit to that.
And no, I don't think it should. I don't think it's clouding your judgment. You're a survivor. You know what I mean? And that is a beautiful and amazing thing in itself, right? And I just do want to kind of comment, because I looked down at the comments for a second, and somebody said the left says always protect children. Let me tell you something. I am actually one of those people that do what I say. You know what I mean? Like I actually help protect children. I help protect women. I give safe homes for people, all that kind of stuff, right? It's bigger, and we can't go on that protect. We have to stop with the left and right thing, and just my opinion, because that's where it's dividing us. It really is, and it's the same horse and pony show. It's just a different label, and so there are people out here that are doing exactly what they say, and I do that, but I still stand because I see a different side of the world than a lot of people see, and I've came out of that world, and even if. Again, I don't put my personal belief system on anything, because my opinion is for me, and I get to make whatever choice I choose to. And I'm going to make whatever choice I choose that I feel is good for me in my circumstances. And I think everybody should have that right. No one should be forced to take a jab. No one should be forced to have a pregnancy. No one should be forced to do any of that. And especially especially where we're at now, we got to understand each other. We don't have to agree with each other, but we gotta try to hear each other out, man.
Well, Tom, right as I was coming in, you were kind of saying like, "Hey, all right, let's talk. Let's have a debate about this and that." What's sticking out in your mind lately as far as distractions or different little anything that pops in your head where we have this headline lately, but it seems like it's steering us somewhere ridiculous?
Oh, well, there. Where do you want to start? The damnedest thing, I guess it was yesterday. And if this is not true, somebody please correct me, because I'm just repeating what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
The band U2, is that who they are?
Say it again.
A band called U2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, YouTube.
Bono's band
Right.
did a concert in Kiev last week.
Really?
A war zone?
Right.
Give me a break.
Tom, did you hear who went over there Sunday? Did you hear who went over there for Mother's Day?
Oh, apparently Pelosi was there. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But...
I'm not talking about Pelosi. I know she was. They said she was over there. The First Lady was over there.
No.
Yes, that's what's been reported. Jill was over in Ukraine for Mother's Day.
Hunter asked me to pick a briefcase up. You got to. No, I hadn't heard that one. Virginia, there is just so much just absolute nonsense, and we're supposed to swallow this shit.
Right.
Well, even this leak, I believe, is a distraction. I really do. I believe they leaked the situation out as a distraction. And so I think that there is a lot, with the food shortage that we're having, with the formula shortage that we're having, with all these issues that we're having that they're not talking about, as we all know. They keep putting these huge distractions, whether it's race stuff, whether it's, women's health rights or whatever it is, because everybody is emotionally going to latch onto that. And that's what we're going to do in our human nature. But there's something, there's something else. It ain't about this abortion shit.
Well, what do you think it is? What do you think?
Well, who's going to benefit from these protests or the riots?
Nobody. Neither side.
Oh, I don't know.
I really don't think neither side will. And I think it's just the perfect distraction to get both people. We got early elections coming up. We got all this stuff coming up. I believe that this issue is enough to keep both sides, if that's what you want to call it, distracted enough to do whatever it is they're about to do. And that what it is, I don't know. But this is the perfect story.
I'm gonna ask you something. Have you guys been watching? I'm not gonna actually say the name, but they are here on YouTube. PV by Mr. O'Keefe. Have you heard of that group?
No.
Never heard of it.
PV is pretty much like Tim Pool, but they go undercover, and they've been doing a lot of things with the government. And they have whistleblowers and stuff inside the government, inside big companies. That PV is Latin. It's Project Truth. If you know what the word for truth is, if you know what truth is in Latin, then you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, Project Veritas.
Exactly. They had a hearing yesterday on Capitol Hill about what Biden's done to them, what the DOJ's when they raided the homes of the journalist and James O'Keefe. I kid you not, but I didn't even know about it, and I keep up with this stuff. Think about that. I didn't even know about Project Veritas. The only reason I know about it now is because I watched a video before you came on, Tom, of them testifying in front of members of Congress, in front of this House.
Hey, Zach, man, that's quite all right. You're welcome on any panel that I host. So, and I know you're busy. So, yeah, man, I'm kind of ignorant about that. I think it was Robert Bolt mentioned this thing with the World Health Organization, and I only saw a headline about that. I'm woefully out of touch because the weather's nice and I'm outside. I'm not in here on YouTube through the day.
Most of the time, I do my research when I'm watching you guys. If I'm in the chat room, if I'm not up on panel, I'm doing research because I'm trying to find out which one is actually the one that Biden's supposed to turn over the United States to a certain organization. I don't know if you guys heard about that or not.
That's what I was just talking about, the World Health Organization, right?
No, it's supposed to be turned over to the UN. We're supposed to have the blue hats in the United States that's supposed to take control at the end of May. I'm trying to find all the
treaties in the United States. They might as well save time and go ahead and paint targets on them, because there's too many people ain't gonna put up with that. That's just stupid.
Right.
Where's their military equipment going to come from? Guys are going to come in here with small arms and they think they're going to control this country?
But yeah, I'm just like, I'm trying to find the information because I don't repeat. If I say something, I want it to be fact. I want it to be truthful.
Well, I get that, and I appreciate that. That's why I try not to talk about stuff that I haven't, read up on.
Exactly.
Okay, well, what does Summer think? What do you think, Summer? What we know it's all distractions. So what do you think it's from? Distractions from what?
I don't know, man. I feel like, and I don't know. I feel like there is going to be something super big. I believe that some kind of lockdown, some kind of possible, maybe, I don't even like calling it martial law type thing or whatever, but something in a weird way that's going to happen. I believe these elections are going to get really, really crazy. But I almost feel like it's just some kind of, and I can't put my finger on it. For the last 2 years, I've had this overwhelming feeling, and it just, with each distraction, it gets stronger and it gets stronger. I just feel like we're about to see something happen that in our minds, we may have been prepared, but our minds will never be able to understand what's about to happen. And it's going to happen. So, and that's why I believe for me, I'm not a left, I'm not a right. I don't give a shit about any of that, because I understand that we're riding on the same horse, just different, different whatever. And I think that even that is being used. And that's where I see it the most, right? And that's where so many people are. I mean, there's families that aren't talking to kids, and, friends that have lost relationships, and just over the last 2 years with so much. And I believe all that's being purposely done. I think that we need to be, to me, when I think about a patriot, when I think about, a freedom fighter, when I think about things like that, I think of people that don't care about the ideology of right or left. They don't care about any of that. When they say they're for the people, that means they're for all the people, right? And I think that they know that patriot spirit is there, and that's what they're trying to break. And if they can break that, which I don't think they've gotten there yet, but I think that if they can break that, that'll be the camel that breaks the mule's back. And I only say this, I don't say this because I watch news. I don't say this because I watch YouTube, because I really don't watch, besides you guys, like all of our little community, and then like, the women's community that I help with, I don't have time to do all that. But I've been gifted with my whole life. That's why I'm still alive through everything I've been through, with this spiritual, like I can feel it in my spirit, and it's just getting, and it's just getting worse and worse. And like I said, even with this last little shindig they're doing, because if you think about it, like there's a formula shortage, big time. There's a food shortage, big time. You know what I mean? Gas, once again, is going up. All of a sudden, now they're talking about the C thing is back. It's just, I think we need to be very careful, and I think we need to be very mindful and not let them pimp our minds out, because that's what I see happening right now.
Because on Wednesdays, since it is Wednesday, on my political channel, News and Views of AC, I do a panel every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern. And I've been researching stuff that I want to share on that panel when I do the panel. But right now, I'm trying to get all the information that I can, so we can actually sit down and discuss what the heck is going on right now. Or as I say sometimes, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
And like when you're on, like when you do what I do, when you're on the streets, right? And I'm even seeing it. I've been seeing it start there for like this past 6 months. It's getting worse. There's more people that you would never expect on the streets. There's whole families on the streets. There's, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I know we hear about stuff like that, and we're like, yeah, they're just making shit up so, people can whatever. But no, it's real. And so I just really hope that us as people, and people that call themselves patriots, don't let even the government pimp us out, because that's what I feel like they're doing. And people say, I feel so sorry for you, Summer, for everything you went through. And I'm like, but you're, in some sense, you're kind of a victim of this that I've been through as well, because I see the same tactics being used that was used to break us, that happens in human trafficking. I see those same tactics being used, being pushed out through the YouTubes and the TVs and the medias, and just, people are playing off our emotions right now, for sure.
And fears.
Yeah, fear. Yeah. That's it, right? Because if I can get you, and that's what traffickers do, right? If I can get you isolate. Well, they did that. Everybody was stuck in their house. Everybody was isolated. Everybody was out of their routine, right? And some things that was good that happened because people had no choice. And this is just my opinion, right? People had no choice to dig a little bit deeper because CNN and all these other places just wasn't cutting it anymore, which that was good. But then a lot of people started realizing what most of us already know, like, hey, something's going on here. And so they did that first, right? And that's the first thing of any kind of abuse. They isolate you. Then they break you down. People's businesses started closing. They couldn't go to jobs. People were forced to take things they don't want to and forced to do things they don't want to do. So it's just the breakdown of it. And I don't mean to put everything in a form of like an abuse type of thing, but that's the only thing I know and I recognize when it comes to stuff like this. And that's what it reminds me of. And now, before it's all said and done with, it's just going to be a big old rat race. And that's what's scary.
Summer, you're right. We are being groomed and abused by our government. We really are. Hey, Ghetto, I guess you didn't pay your internet bill and your emails down, and you knew about this stream before anybody else did. So don't whine. It's so unbecoming when you whine like that.
He has no dignity whatsoever.
I've tried to talk to him about this, and he just, I don't know, personality flaw, I guess.
But Summer, the people that you see, you're in an outreach type of program and everything. What do you see the consensus there in that demographic? What do people think is going on?
They believe that there's going to be a serious government overtake.
Really?
They think that the government is really trying to turn things into a dictatorship.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you right now, people on the street know more than half of us will ever know. They think they're crazy.
Which is why I think these protests, and they're going to turn into riots, are of benefit to the government.
Yeah, well, and they are, right?
So, like, excuse to crack down.
I can speak on for Louisville, Kentucky, right? As if people followed protesting in 2020, probably heard Louisville thrown around a couple times. I know I've seen on newses where they try to say we burned things down and all that, and we did not. We did not. We actually chased the people that agitate. We chased them we chased them out. You know what I mean? Because it's our city. If anybody was going to mess our city up, it was going to be us, not anybody coming out of town, right? And we didn't want that. That's not what we wanted. We wanted something tangible because this isn't just a one incident for us. We have these kind of incidents happening every day. So this was not a joke to us. This wasn't you're going to come burn our city down. No, that's not what this was about for us. Right? And now I can't speak on other cities, but for us, we were consistently marching for 136 days and nothing got burnt down. Maybe 4 windows got broke and we chased those agitators out of here. Right. Wow. And so that was the most powerful thing. Louisville is a social justice type of city. Right. And so I remember there were even people that were not didn't agree with the way we did things. And they had came into town. And at one point, they're all standing with their big guns, and there's like 50 of us, and we're like, "Why are you here?" They're like, "You're burning the city down." We're like, "Stop! Look! Stop! Look!" And they're like, "Wait a minute, y'all ain't burnt it down." We're like, "No." You know what I mean? So, but our media still had people believing that this is what happened, right? And so the government is going to use this. The media is going to use this. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. It's dividing and conquering. People say they know the art of war. People say they've been in the military, which I know they have. And most people, they understand. They probably understand better than anybody what's happening. Like you can see it as clear as, I don't know how to explain it. It's just and it's so frustrating because even the people that think they've got it figured out they're still saying right and left. And if you're still saying that, then you are a puppet of the system. Don't let them divide us by their political government. No, we the people, when we realize we the people have the power, the people will have the power. Until that, we won't. United we stand, divided we fall is a very big thing. And that means everybody, even if we don't agree on every single thing. But one thing we agree on is the government don't have no business forcing any of us to do anything. We live in America. Let's stand on that.
Because I made a comment to somebody yesterday, they were saying that they stand with Ukraine, and it's a friend of mine. And I said, what if I show you that not Nazis are fighting for Ukraine? And they said they didn't know what to think. I said, and his grandpa fought in World War II, so that's why I was trying to show him that what he's supporting is some of them are actual Nazis.
But
And
right, you said the key word though. Some of them, like, and that, again, even in that, we have to understand. Even here in America, we have some demographic of things. There's
True.
evil and good in everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we have people over there in Ukraine right now, specifically, that are helping trafficking victims. You know what I mean? So there's good and bad in everything, and I think everybody. I don't agree with the war. Period. I don't like what either sides are doing in anything, because the people in the middle is who suffer at the end of the day.
The innocents. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's become fashionable to quote unquote stand with Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And people are standing with Ukraine and they don't know what in the hell they're standing for. I got to take the position, if the Biden administration is behind them, they're no good.
We should keep our nose out of it. I mean, they don't get
It's
it.
none of our business. We got
not.
no dog in that fight at all, and we don't want to put one in it. I
Hey,
do want to
but-
say one thing off the subject real quick, and then we'll get back to this. I don't want, if a little word slips into your head, go ahead and spit it out. I have said before, I'm profane, not vulgar. And that's all I ask. You know,
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be every other word out of your mouth. So don't let it stifle your thoughts and conversation. You know, be comfortable.
I got a bad mouth though. Pray for me.
Just
Summer,
a
I think
fluid
we all do.
conversation.
I have
I
said
think we all
before, I
do.
can go from a construction site to my mother-in-law's house, and I fit
That's
in
right.
either place.
Right.
But the thing about it, and this is how I stand. I'm not pro Putin. I'm not pro Zelensky. I'm not pro Russia. I'm not pro Ukraine. I just don't. I'm pro our troops. I don't want our men and women dying. That's what
Right.
I am.
And they ought to stay home.
Exactly.
I personally don't believe that it's as bad in Ukraine as they want us to believe it is.
Agreed.
You don't put a war on pause to have a rock concert. It don't happen.
But the thing about it, and I'm gonna say this, and this is just my feeling. I'm not speaking for everybody up on this panel. I think our government and the political establishment think we're all fucking dumb.
Yep. They think we're as dumb as they are.
They do. They
Exactly.
think we, and you know what? And we play into their hand every time.
Well, what do you mean we?
not we, not we, but the majority, right? Like the people, majority of the people are still like blah blah blah, you know. And it's like, no, you big toot toot. It don't matter what. They're all a part of the friggin' problem.
The problem is they know we know, and they don't care.
That's it.
Problem.
That's it.
And I want to say one thing. Bug out. Get your ass up here and let me kick your ass in this, because you don't have no room to talk.
Are you saying that Bushido has an annoying voice?
Yes, I am.
Well, he can talk breathing in, so.
I can do it at times.
Well, I think that more people than not are on the side of us, U.S., the country, and don't want to be involved in these skirmishes, proxy wars, and money laundering schemes. I have faith that regardless of how you voted or whether or not you poked yourself or what have you, that there's a majority, that classic silent majority of people, that they aren't as loud as us. They don't get on pedestals as much and whatever. But when it comes down to it, I have faith in the citizens of this country and even some of the aliens that stop by. That we love this land, and I don't see the American people rolling over for anybody if it came down to it.
No.
Yeah, I agree with you, Virginia. I think when you know, and right, if you look at like when a national disaster or 9/11 happened, or these big things happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instinctively, right? It's just who we are. A majority of us, instinctively, we were like, how can I help? What can I do? We're driving miles and states away across the country and sending our money and even, you know, and all this stuff. So I do believe when our backs are pushed up against the wall, oh yeah, you ain't, we not going down, laying down. Like, that's just the way it is. But in between time, until it's that time, because I do believe there will be a time of that. I don't know when that is. I don't know if it'll be when we see it or, you know, whatever. But I do believe there is going to be that time. I believe that with everything in my spirit. But in between time, I just wish we could support each other more, even if we don't agree on everything.
Bug out, that's probably the most accurate statement that's been made all night.
You support the war of Hunter's laptop. Oh, honey.
Here's the thing: it shouldn't be a war. If
Right.
it is subpoenaable by crime, it shouldn't be a war to get it in the first place. They
Yep, I agree.
So do I support it? No, I don't. In the sense that we shouldn't have it in the first place. Should we take it by force? Maybe. You know?
Yeah.
But there shouldn't be any battle at all. Crimes were committed, and there's evidence readily available.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What's being hidden in Ukraine is probably so much more outrageous, but they've got so much in their hands right now that they're not going to do a thing with.
Well, and that's the thing. I think another reason why they are trying to make such a distraction, and not for anything, but I'm going to high five that prostitute one day. Because girlfriend knew what she was doing when she started recording all his garbage. And that's what, a lot of people that weren't catching on to the other things before, that's where a lot of people caught on. And so either side you're on, I think a lot of people say that laptop should be definitely looked through.
Oh,
And
completely.
Cindy just made a great point, if you want to bring that up, about is Biden putting billions of dollars of military equipment over there to retreat and rearm Putin on a mass retreat.
Anything
my question has always been, because we know Ukraine has dirt on Biden, was this war supposed to destroy all of that evidence?
Possibly.
I wouldn't doubt that a bit.
Yeah.
There's Cindy's follow-up point, which is gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a shit show.
But I love, Tom, I will say this now, I love your audience because they are asking questions that we need answers to as the American people. We need these answers. And I know Rick is not an American citizen, but even as a world citizen, we have questions that need to be answered.
Yep, I agree. I had like all kinds of things answered. Shit. I mean, some of the stuff that I tell you, last night I went on and me and a bunch of the survivors, we were sitting here talking and it's so frustrating for us, is because all these people that, the fools that are in office now and just all of them, it's so frustrating because, man, they are so shady as hell. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, they're so shady and they have their hands in so many grimy things. And
all the world is a stage. They're very well paid actors.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Virginia, did you see what Hoot just asked Tom?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's what I was replying to, actually. The Ukrainian president was a stand-up comedian and celebrity in a sense.
Hey, Chuck.
All of these people are actors.
Not saying that a former stand-up comedian can't have good ideas, but we don't know anything about this guy. And they're pretty much known as being one of the most corrupt nations on the planet.
Yeah.
Corruption, corrupt. We got corruption and we got dictatorship. I mean, it's let them figure it out. You know,
It
that's
goes
just
hand
kind
in
of how I
hand.
look at it. Yeah, I mean, and neither one of them. And listen, I've done interviews with some people because again, I care about people, right? So I care about people here. I care about people in Russia that it's being affected. I care about people in Ukraine that it's being affected. But at the end of the day, I mean, again, we have dictatorship against corruption, and you know, it's just it's let them play in their own ish. You know what I mean? But have I done interviews and live streams with people from both sides? 100%. And do I feel bad for those people on both sides? 100%.
Right.
Just like I feel bad, just like I feel bad for the people here.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
some. I don't think we should be so quick to lump each other for association.
no, I don't think we should at all.
Yeah.
And that's
Some
something.
actors were good. Han Solo, I think he's talking about Mr. Reagan. President Reagan.
Yeah. Ronald Reagan, the actor.
Well, we're not too far behind in corruption too. So I mean, you know, I just throw that out there.
Oh, 100%.
So like we could say Ukraine's the third, but you know what are we like fourth or fifth? You know what I mean? So
we're probably in the top 10.
Or say, right? I was gonna say or one. You know, I mean, I don't know. It depends who you're talking to. So again,
we're number one.
Let them. I mean, well, you know, I'll tell you what. Kentucky's number one for child abuse.
No
Is that
doubt.
So
right?
we, you know, yeah, we are actually, unfortunately. But yeah, it's again, all these, and I mean, I care, but I don't care. I care about the people, but other than that, we have our own issues over here that we need to worry about. We're in the middle of our own friggin' swallow. And we got to be careful. So the corrupt government that we deal with on a daily basis on all sides, doesn't put us in the same damn boat and get us killed. Cause that's what I feel like in some sense it's also trying to be happen is someone keeps sticking his nose somewhere he ain't got no business and he's trying to get us in a war. And I'm talking about a war that's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And I want to expand on what Redneck Prepper just said about the emails. Yes, send emails, but I will also say this. If you don't hear a senator or a politician that you support talk about a certain thing that has been shown that's out there by a man that his last name is D'Souza.
Oh, okay.
If you don't hear your politicians talking about that, rethink your values because they might be in on this. So, I'm not saying that that everyone in both parties are corrupt. I'm just saying if you don't hear anything from them about it, you might want to research why.
Well, they're dirty, man. That's the answer to that question. They're dirty.
Right. I was going to say, I'll say it for you, AC. Everyone in our government is corrupt. And if you think they're not, then ooh.
I think there are some. I think there are some good ones.
There is no good politician.
You know, that's why I've been harping on voter-imposed term limits since I've been doing lives. And I'm going to tell you right now, I intend to vote against U.S. senators from West Virginia that seem to be doing an okay job, just because I believe that after 2 terms, they should be done.
Yeah, term limits should definitely be in.
I'll probably waste my vote, but I would like to see the time come when enough people will waste their vote and it'll make a difference. And it'll start cleaning this shit up.
I agree with you, Tom. It's time for us to start wasting some votes. I mean, you know, and even at this, and why I believe that all are corrupt and, you know, whatever, they may have the good intentions, but when you get in there, that's a whole different world that most people will not ever understand. You can get a glimpse of what you think is going on, and even me having the insert in the insert of it all that I had, I got to see with the mask off, but even still, normal people will never be able to understand that good old, that I don't even know what the hell you want to call it, but So I believe that there is no good politician because just like with, other situations, if there was good politicians, then why are they standing by, keep watching this, certain things happen and not hold them accountable for the things that they should be holding them accountable for, right? So that's why I say
But
there is no good politician.
The reason I say there are some is because of Madison Hawthorne, because he is showing the corruption inside the Republican Party. That's why I say there are some. I'm not saying that he probably doesn't have his faults. I'm not saying that. But I do think there are some good politicians. They are just outnumbered a lot to a little.
I think many of them start good and
Yeah, I do too.
I do
get
too.
rotted by the corruption.
But in
Yep.
20 years, they'll be sucked in. And
Yeah.
that's why
Yep.
I think 12 is enough.
Term limits have to be in place. I think that, and if there was a whole pool, if everybody started throwing their votes and we started getting people out and start getting, there's still, all of that would be pointless until we make sure that there's term limits on it, right? Because, and I think, we have, oh God, ditch Mitch. And I mean, we can't get him out. Like in the whole, so everybody, even people on his party are trying to get him out, and we just can't because he's been there so long.
Right.
It's those deep roots that no matter, even if everyone in his state votes him, he's still not getting out. And so it's very important that we put term limits and things because, like Virginia said, I think that, and Tom, I do think that we have some good people going in, and they have that good heart, and they want that change the world spirit type fight. But when you're in that arena, even the most purest soul can get corrupt.
Exactly.
Because of where I live, I do watch her a lot. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's a heck of a honest as she can be, politician.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is, and that's why I say I think there are some good politicians. I'm not saying they don't get corrupted after time because it is the DC swamp. It is a swamp up there.
Facts. As I even hear locally, I've had people come up to me and be like, "Hey, Summer, you definitely should get into this and do that." Nope, I can't. I cannot. Because
Summer, why not?
For me, okay, and not to be vulgar or anything, but for me, I believe that it's very important to have people that when you walk into a room full of politics, every one of their assholes tighten up because they know you're going to hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who I am, right? So I'm not going to be good in a politician's office. I'm going to be good to make sure that politician, because I have enough pull in my community to hold them accountable. So I'm the chick when I walk in the room, they're like, "Oh shit, what's Summer going to say now?"
Necessary position to have.
And the thing, like with me, even though I'm a younger man, most of the people around me are all older than me. I can go into the county commissioners meeting, and as soon as I do, there's one county commissioner that will say, "Oh God, he's back again."
They all say that about me.
That's what when I walk into that room, because I will dress up, I will be nice, I will be respectful because they are older than all of them are older than me. But when they see me walk in there, they know they did something wrong. And they know it as soon as I walk in that door. Because the secretary that takes the minutes, she'll go in there right before I do and says, "He's coming, he's back." And that one guy will say, "Oh God."
Imagine. Go ahead, sorry, my bad.
But I love holding my local politicians accountable for what they do. And I even do it to my state representatives because they're like, they'll come and talk to me, ask me what I think about certain things, even though I'm only in my 40s. But I'll be like, I can go up to Montgomery, walk in there, go talk to who I need to talk to, and they're like, "What did we do wrong?" They respect my opinion of the job they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I think if more people got involved in their local politics, yes, we need to worry about all the big stuff, but our local politics is where we're really going to start seeing the change. And but like with me, it's so funny, right? Imagine being the chick that was just in the sex industry 7 years ago, and now being in the same rooms and fighting the same, fighting for victims of sexual crimes and human trafficking and all that. So I use that as a power. Like our mayor, he won't come to anything that we do. And when I come, he runs the other way. He has enough pull so far that we haven't been able to, but his time's running up very soon, and so I believe that things will run its ball, of course, the way it's supposed to. But it's just it's really funny, and that's why I won't. I'd much rather do like you do, AC. Just hold people accountable. Because I think a lot of people think that, well, my voice doesn't matter and they're not going to listen to me. Man, you be a thorn in their side. It don't matter if they listen to you.
Yeah.
They gonna hear you.
They might
Plan
not
to
listen
solve
they
first,
will-
but they have to eventually. If
Yep.
keep
And
up.
you gotta be that thorn in the side, because if you just think right in one time or call it every now and then, no, that's not it. And we have to, like I said, make them tighten up when you walk in the room.
But the thing about it, because of how far I actually live from the county seat, the older people that I actually do talk to around me, when I go, they know I'm not coming just for myself. I'm coming with the people around me. They know that I have a lot of pull within a certain area of the county, and they're like, we really don't want him mad at us or the people he's representing, because the area that I go to, we have more registered voters in the area that I'm covering than anywhere else in the county could put together. So they know, even though we are a rural district, they know that when I come in there, that I'm speaking on a number of people, not just myself.
Well, that makes you have the potential to be a representative, man. So you're younger. It may be time to throw your hat in the arena.
But
That's what
I
we're
would
doing here locally. Go ahead, AC.
I
Sorry.
would rather not do that. Like Summer said, I want to keep these people held accountable. If I run for office, I really can't hold the people here locally accountable for their actions when I'm worrying about what is going on. Let's say if I run for state, I won't be able to help these older people with the things that they want me to do and say in front of the county commissioners. So it would be a strain for me to actually do it. And I want to keep my politicians, state and local, accountable for their actions and the things that they want to try to pass.
Have you ever thought about like helping someone in your area that's younger and that might have a better potential to get in a seat, like here locally?
Yes.
And we do this with both sides, because I'm not a side person at all. I don't care R or D. But we are getting young people that have that fire, that have that, you know what I mean? And trying to just teach them and show them all the different things that they can do to hold a seat. And so I think it's very important for both sides to make sure we get people in there that we can. And so if people in each community, maybe it's not a job for us, AC, but getting somebody in our community that could hold those seats, that would be awesome.
Because there's a guy that he works under me because of how the structure with the farm is. He works under me, and me and him been talking, and what he's thinking in 2024 is running for county commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to talk to him, get him, because he's 22 years old, so he's young enough where he hasn't really made the stupid decisions that I've made since I'm in my 40s. There is a little bit of a grace period there. So yeah, I've talked to younger people that would love to run, but they're like, I don't know how to do it. And I'm like,
That's right.
let me help you here.
Yeah. I think that's important. I think because I think on either side, whatever, I think we have a generation of young people, and obviously not everybody's going to fit it for them, but there's because of so much dysfunction and so much just everything that's going on. I do see, especially here in our city, really in our state, I see a group of young folks that are really could be great positions for some of the seats that we need to be filled on every side. And so I think it's really important to empower them and to, equip them to get the confidence enough to run, because I think that they're just as frustrated. You know what I mean? And at some point we do have to, I don't like using the word groom, you know what I mean? Because of just everything I came out of, but, but
you want to mold them. You want to mold them.
We want to mold them, right? We want to mold them and empower them to get in these positions, because let's face it, I mean, including myself, I'm 43, so yes, can I take a seat? Yes, can I hold it for a while? All that, right? I can, but this is a dog fight. And so, just empowering those young people to be able to do that, I think is something we all could do,
I agree. The next generation is what the proverbial they are after, with all the technology and distractions and easily controlled, manipulated. So freedom, we've got to instill that.
Yeah.
As a great president said, we're only one generation from losing our freedom.
Yeah.
Yep. True.
We're in it right now.
For a time such as this, honey. For a time such as
What's
this.
got to me by this blank ballot, all these no candidates filed, that means the incumbents are going to slide in there unopposed.
Mm-hmm.
And the dirty shit they're into, if that, now I'm not accusing my good county politicians of being corrupt, of course, but please don't come to my house. They slide in with no opposition, and this is
they come to your house, Tom. I'm coming to your house.
Well, you'll come to hurt me.
No, not to hurt you, to hurt them.
But I mean, but that's the thing about it. I hope I'm right about this, but I think a lot of people that are left and center left have realized that the American people need to start standing up for themselves. I think it's actually starting to happen because, Tom, I'm going to take this to a place, I don't know if Virginia lives here or not, but there's a rapper out in Los Angeles County, California, that is he's suing the city of Los Angeles about gun rights. I don't know if you heard about that one or not.
No, I'm not in California.
But yeah, there's a couple of rappers out in California that's suing the city, the police department, and the LAPD for having outrageous gun laws where he was trying to get a gun, but they wouldn't approve him. So he gets arrested for having a gun for self-protection. So that one is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm like, that would be, with all these permits that you have to have in certain locations.
Speaking from a state that we basically don't have any gun laws here in Kentucky. People love their guns. Like we had it to where you had to have it concealed and all that kind of stuff, and now we don't have anything like that. And it's I wish we did though, because I think that anybody should not have a firearm unless they can they can maintain it, right? And that's one
It's
good
an
thing
issue
about
of
a
training.
concealed. Yeah, you have to I have a whole security team because of what I do, and we go out and we and stuff like that, but we also have a place set up that puts you in a real life situation. Learn how to train, how to shoot sitting down, standing up, around walls, around doors, through, if you're in a car. So we learn these positions because of what we do, just in case something was to ever. It's always better to be prepared than it is to try to figure out what you're doing in the middle of it. And a CC didn't do all that, but it gave you at least the bare basic training. And so it makes me nervous because now everyone is got them hanging out their basketball shorts and all this stuff, and I'm just like,
But
no.
I'm gonna say this now because you can probably figure what I support. I support the QA. But the thing about it, if you are actually a supporter of that, you do go and train and
Yes.
learn about your whatever arm you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you're because I figure Tom where he lives, because I have seen some pictures and videos from when he's gone outside and stuff. I bet you any money Tom from time to time will go out and do a few rounds just to cool off a little bit, we would say.
Nah, just because I like the smell of gunpowder, man. That's the only reason I shoot.
But that's the thing about it. We if you're really serious about, you're gonna train. You're gonna be responsible.
You just said it, responsible, right? Most people that are in our position are responsible, right? And so they're going to take that, But you do have and I've seen it here since laws passed. I'm just like, oh my God, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But I also agree in the right. I agree in the Second Amendment right, so I have to stand on that as well. But do I think that it would be nice if people got training, and most responsible people do, and so it's not the issue. Isn't responsible gun owners? It's others.
Nimrod, and I see a lot of Nimrods around here, and they're carrying, and they got no business carrying. They don't have the mental temperament. They're just a tragedy waiting to happen.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
And, if you have to now, when I got my permit, you had to go through the course and you had to qualify, and the guy that gave the course would give you a certificate to take to the sheriff's department to say, yeah, this guy's smart enough to handle a handgun. Mm-hmm. But see, they did away with that a couple of years ago. So
here all you gotta do is go on and buy a gun. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So just because you haven't committed a crime yet doesn't mean you're not gonna do something.
No, it doesn't mean you haven't committed one. It just means you ain't been caught.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
But the thing about it, if you go buy from a good dealer or someone that understands the amendment, they're gonna tell you need to go to the range. Because if you want to be, but some people don't want to be responsible. We see, no offense, we can see that almost every weekend in a certain city in Illinois.
Chicago?
Yes. I'm from Chicago. I am, and I think again that's a political ploy. It really is. I'm not going to sit here and say that Chicago's not bad, but Chicago's not the only place that has massive deaths throughout the week. It's just used as a PowerPoint again as a political thing. So that's why I shook my head, because it's like, God, why we always got to grab for Chicago? Well, I'll say Louisville, Kentucky. Why don't we say
I'm not even going to say it with the gangs. I'm talking about what the freaking mayor put on Twitter.
Oh yeah, it has its problems. I'm not denying that. It's the numbers are real, and the issue is very real. But it's unfortunately it's like that in a lot of cities around here nowadays.
That's true
Oh,
too, and I will agree with that. But don't they? Isn't there a saying that goes along the lines of an armed society is a polite society? Because you never know who's carrying and what they're carrying with them.
That's very true.
Very true. I had the conversation tonight. I said, I'll tell you what, because somebody's like, do you always carry? I said, I will always carry. Even if you don't see me, I am always carried. And please understand, what you see is not the only thing I have. So please understand that. Like, so but again, it's because of what I do and what I've been through. There's a lot of, but in the same sense, I'm not hot headed. I'm very responsible when it comes to being in situations, because I've been in some situations. And so, yeah, it's, I'm always gonna carry. I've been carrying since I was 12, 13 years old.
I've had guns around me since I was the age of 5.
Oh yeah,
I lived on a farm most of my life. I'm like, I've been handling a gun since I was 8. My dad taught me how to responsibly use a weapon.
Right now I have a 380, but I own a couple different things. My newest toy is a fold up one. So yeah, I like toys. It folds up and fits in your purse. I'm a little girl, but I like big toys.
You a little girl with big toys. That's always a good thing.
That's right. My toy box is full of adventures in so many different ways. Oh yeah, they got one that you can fold it up and unfold it, and it's a big old pretty toy. So yeah, again, I think everybody, should be trained and equipped, and especially women. I'm a big advocate for that. I'm a huge advocate for that, especially nowadays. And not only that, but this is another thing that I think is very rarely talked about. But know what the gun laws are in your city and state. That is very, very important.
Yes.
Understand the stand your ground. Understand every single thing, because a lot of people don't realize. Yeah, somebody could break in your house, and you could defend yourself. But you better shoot them as they're coming towards you, because if not, they can have your ass in court and and you can get in trouble for it. So you have to understand the laws of where you live at, the laws of your land, right? And I've been big preaching on that, because I've seen so many times where people have, even as far as when you do self-defense, if you're in a situation, and I see people online and in conversations bragging, oh, well, if this happens, it's self-defense. You keep talking about it so much in that particular situation, in the wrong and right court, however you put it, they can put you for, as you planned it. And then your self-defense goes right out the window. So again, know your laws. Be smart. You can't change the world without knowing how the world's operating.
Because here, January 1st of 2023, our laws here in Alabama changed. Because right now I do have a CCW. But as of January 1st, I will not have to have that. We got constitutional carry here. So I can, when that actually goes into effect, I'm actually going to be saving a little bit.
Bug out. The only reason I carry the 380 is just because of what I do. It's just more equipped for me to be in the situation, but that's not the only thing I have around me. And so I own a couple different handguns, but my 380 is just we call it Pinky. The community named it. It's something that it's easy for me to handle in the situation. But yeah, I got other things.
Yeah, 380 round is actually slightly larger than 9mm.
Yeah, the rounds are all right. They gonna stop you. I promise you that.
Yeah.
But it's more convenient because it fits on my belt very well, and I'm very little. I have very little hands. But yeah, it'll stop you. But that's not the only thing I have. That's my daytime.
I started out with a 380, and it felt so good in the gun store. I mean, I love this pistol.
Yeah,
and
it's nice. It's cute. It's pink, and
I fired through it. There's nothing to hold on to. So
yeah.
I carried it a few years and replaced it with something a little bit more suitable.
Yeah. I got and I have really little hands, so
if you got small hands, it's a great little weapon.
It is. It is. It's very. It's got a nice little kick. It's not too bad. It gets the job done. So, but yeah, that's not the only thing I have at all.
My everyday one is the Sig P220. That's the one that I carry with me everywhere I go. But
Right.
that is enough for me, and I know how to. But I also have. I think there's one in. Before I lost him in a boating accident, I had one. I had an arm in every room of my trailer. So.
So when I got with my husband 13 years ago, because of things that I've been through, and and this goes for all my life, not just when I was trafficked, a gun and a knife was positioned in every part of my home. I literally used to sleep with both underneath, like probably not the safest things to do. So when we moved in together and all this stuff, he had known what I've been through, and it was he always tells people it was a different experience. He was like, my wife's got knives and guns stashed everywhere, and we tell like the people that we rent from were like, and we were in an apartment, and he used to tell them, he's like, listen, do not go into that apartment without calling me and let me know first, so I can let my wife know, because she's gonna shoot first and ask questions later. And so it's been an adventure with me, because that's something that's probably not most people aren't used to, but with my trauma, it made me feel safe. And so he learned with it, and over the years, I slowly start putting knives away and start, not that I don't still have stashes, because I do. Even my car is laced a certain way. I mean, I'm the type of person I think of, what if I'm standing behind my trunk and somebody comes up behind me and tries to put me in it? Am I going to have anything in my trunk to help me? Oh, this chick does. You know what I mean? Like, so I think about things like that because I've been in these situations. I even think about positioning things on my body every day. And this is something women you can think of. But because I've been in really dangerous situations, I have certain things placed on my body that you're not going to be able to feel or tell. But if I get in a situation and you take everything from me and you don't find that, it's going to help me get away. So I'm big on stuff like that. And that's just a part of my survival skill. That's by nature. It happens.
Well, you learned it the hard way.
Yeah, I did. I've been in those situations and I've been kidnapped. I've been, I've been I've been put in the trunk of a car. I've been through these things. And so everything in my car is laced, every single thing on my body. You know what I mean? Like, and this is just, if somebody was, cause sometimes I'll go live right after I come in and people will be like, Summer, you're sour, they don't want me to get in trouble because I just forget. But it's naturally like how some people get up and put a watch on. I do the same routine every single day as I get ready. And my kids and my husband, they're so used to it that they don't even think twice of it, So it's by nature. This is what I do. And I think every woman should think about that, because you can be standing somewhere and be thrown in a truck. These things can happen, and they're happening more and more and more. And so be prepared always.
And I want to ask you this, Summer. I've been meaning to ask you, how long was you trafficked? If you don't mind me asking this, and you don't have to say.
No, you're good. So I was trafficked. So I entered the industry at 17 as a stripper, and I met my first pimp, I think, by 18. I had a couple pimps in between. So sometimes you have to get out of stuff like that, you have to be bought by somebody, because they have this idea that you have this debt, even though we're the ones that's making all the money and all this, going through all the abuse and all that. But somehow we have this debt. So I had to be bought out by the time, and that happened at 29. Now, unfortunately, I did not get out of the industry because we're creatures of habits, and that's what I knew. And so I stayed what we called renegading for a long time, which is solo. And I never had a pimp again. But I didn't get out of the industry until 7 years ago.
That's intense.
That is intense.
Yeah, I had the first pimp I had. He was what they would call like a Romeo pimp, and the reason they call them Romeo pimps is because they groom you and work off of your emotions and things like that. And the first time I was bought and sold, I honestly thought it was a drug deal that I was going to, because I've sold drugs my whole life. My parents were involved in that. That's normal for me. And that's what I thought I was going to, just to find out I got beaten, raped. And when I went home to tell my boyfriend, who I thought was my boyfriend, I was told then that from here on out, I will do what he says. And he beat me the whole night. And he let me know that I will do what he says or he will kill me. And I knew he's killed people before, so I didn't want to second guess him. I got out of that situation. I don't really remember how, but I finally, eventually, maybe a year or two, I got out of that to end up right back in a situation again with a gorilla pimp. And gorilla pimps are really dangerous. They do a lot of really bad things to you. And so I was buried alive and all kinds of other different things as a form of torture. And so because of all these different things that I've been through, that's why I am the way that I am. You know what I mean? And the people that I was sold to were high level politicians and powerful people that run this country. And so that's why I'm so adamant. And it just breaks my heart when I see people so Republican and Democrat, because if you guys only knew. And people are so stuck in their ideology, they won't listen to us. And this goes on both sides. We've said it. We've said people, and people still don't want to believe us. So they would rather argue left and right when the whole time left and right's buying and selling our future.
And if you notice with my channel, it's called Angry Conservative. I don't believe in either anymore. I don't believe in either political party because they're both, like you've said, they're both corrupt. They're both in on.
It's not the same political party that you know what I mean, back in the day or whatever. And I'm even talking about for like 20, 30 years ago. Like it's messed up, man. And it's so crazy because it's so sad. And this is what we were talking, me and some of the survivors I know that were also trafficked in this arena. You know, I didn't always have all these tattoos. I didn't always have crazy hair. You know what I mean? Like, I did all this on purpose. I did this on purpose because I had to look prestige. I had to be a certain way. I had to weigh a certain way. I had to talk a certain way. So my mouth and my cussing and my tattoos and my just being extra as hell, it's a form of healing for me. It's a form of rebellion, the system, right? Because the system made me be this way. And I had to be this way because when you're being sold and auctioned off to high, powerful people, they're not going to deal with this. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of my own rebel self saying like, the world, I'm going to be loud and obnoxious and extra as hell. And it's my safe spot. That's why it's a form of defense.
Right. Because you had to put a certain presentation of presenting yourself out in order to get through those jobs and moments. And it was expecting you to do that. So now it's like, okay, let me make myself as opposite as I can.
Yeah, 100%. When I first started showing up, I remember like 7 years ago when I finally got into this arena of helping. And what's crazy is I'm around so many high-powered politicians, right? And it kind of sucks sometimes. But I would show up to meetings and would be wearing like Angry Bird pajama pants and rain boots and shit, right? Like no makeup on, looking crazy as hell. And people just let me kind of, you know, be me and do me, right? Because they understood that, I mean, I came from having a 357 puts in my head and almost dying to, you know, a couple months, like 2 months later, I'm in the arena saying, nah, we're not doing this no more in the city because I just had enough. And so I would show up in these places and finally like 7 months into all this, you know, someone that I really care and respect came up and said, sweetie, you know, we accept you just the way you are. But, you know, you're in a business arena. You're not just a business owner. You're the founder of an amazing organization. Like, you know, it's okay and what it was is I didn't want people to look at me. I didn't want to feel pretty. I didn't want to feel like anybody was paying attention to me in that way. And I got some healing in me. And now, you know what? I'm a 43-year-old, very sexy woman, and I'm allowed to feel that way because every woman is allowed to feel that way without, you know what I mean? But it took me a long time to get to that spot. I wouldn't get my nails done. I wouldn't wear hair. I wouldn't dye my hair. I wouldn't do any of the things that I love to do because, like you said, Virginia, I was forced to do these things. So I'm now in this position to,
It kind of turned you into a product.
Yeah, I was a product. I was America's product. You know what I mean? And so it's unfortunate, and sometimes, even when everything that I stand on and I believe is because of my life experiences. And that's, I don't expect everybody to get it, because most people think that we're lying when we talk about the things that we talk about. You know what I mean? Because you couldn't even, like, people are like, you've been buried alive. Yeah, I've been buried alive. And that form of torture is actually, in that world, is more acceptable than people think, because they're going to break you all the way down. That's why when you see people using chains and stuff like that, we get so mad in the survivor community, because I ain't got chains on me. I've been kidnapped and everything, and ain't ever had chains on me. Now, I've had a gun to the back of my head, down my throat, all these other things, and I've been tortured so bad to where the chains were here. Mm-hmm. I didn't need to be chained up to anywhere, because I was coming back every single time.
Exactly. Right. But I'm not going to say this, and somehow I don't mean any disrespect, because when I first seen you on a stream with the hair, I was like, this woman has to be a liberal. But then I listened to you, and I'm like, all right, I'm starting to get the picture, and I'm like, and I've got to know you over time, and you're just a great woman, in my opinion.
Well, thank you. I'm just for the people, man. I'm for the people, because I've been in arenas that none of you probably will ever be in, and God, I hope no one you love ever is in, right? I've seen a side of America, and that's why I don't care about Republican. I don't care about Democrat. I don't care about liberal. I don't care about independent. I don't care about none of that. I care about people. You know what I mean? Like, I care about God's people, and everyone, even the evil people, are God's people. Now, they may go off on their ways. At least that's what I believe, right? They may go off on their ways and do some crazy things, and definitely step out of line, because I do believe that there's the devil and there's God. There's good, there's evil. And I believe that's what we're more in a war in. I believe in spiritual warfare. And the best thing I ever did was learn that, because I needed to make sense. Like, I'm in a position to where if you love people and I meet people where they're at, I'm going to meet really good people, and I'm going to meet some really bad people. And I haven't always been a really good person. I can mark my word. I can bet you your bottom dollar on that. Mm-hmm. In certain parts of my life, I'd walk over a dead body to get what I needed to get, because I needed to survive, and my life mattered more than yours, in my opinion, at that point. Right now, I meet people that were in that same position, So good or bad, I gotta love them to life. You know what I mean? And that'll humble the shit out of you, because you know what I mean? It just will. But I believe that that's how we're going to change things. And the ones that ain't and is part of this evil shit, well, you know what? They'll go down, and I'll be a part of it.
And Summer, like me and you've talked, when we had that long ass conversation, when I told you that I go to abortions clinics, I know I'm not going to change every woman's mind, and that's not what I'm there to do. I'm just there to tell them that there are alternatives to.
Yeah. Can I say this? Like, okay, so I don't know if you guys watch the news. This is a topic that is very dear to my heart, so I'm definitely watching every single thing, good and bad, that comes out of it. And I seen that a Molotov cocktail was thrown into a pro-life choice clinic. I don't agree with that. I believe just like that there should be safe, regulated abortion centers, I believe there should be safe, regulated pro-choice. And the reason why is because I even have women that will say, I don't know yet, and they haven't decided. And just like the lady in the interview at the pro-life thing said, like, we're just here to counsel people. I don't agree with standing in abortion clinics and yelling and screaming and telling people they're going to go to hell and getting up in people's faces. I don't agree with that. But I do agree with there's nothing wrong loving somebody where they're at, listening to them, talking to them, giving them the options, and then whatever decision they make, I'm going to walk with them, because that's what I do, right? Like, so, and yes, and the reason why, I got 10 kids. I had an abortion because I know how the court system is. My baby and that position in my life, no one was talking about human trafficking like it was a horrible thing for victims. They looked at us like we're nothing but whores, and I would have been took to court my baby would have been taken from me. He would have sold my child, abused my child. And so I was protecting my baby. Whether you like the way I protected my baby or not is not up for discussion. That's what I felt like. And a lot of people don't understand. It might not be the same exact thing, but a lot of women are put in that position. So I do think that there should be places, safe places for women to go to for both situations because it's needed. I don't think throwing Molotov cocktails in places and screaming at people, telling them they're going to go to hell. You don't have a heaven or hell to throw anybody in. None of us are God. You don't know what decision he's going to make with a person. Thank God he loves our heart. But either way, I don't agree with things like that happening in a pro-choice place. I love people.
Hey, can I throw one caveat out?
Yes.
Not to start another argument, but I heard this today, a couple of different sources. You use the term pro-life clinic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What this was is a church-based clinic.
Mm-hmm.
There are no signs outside that say pro-life.
That's right.
Naturally, they're church-based. They're pro-life, but they're being billed in the news as strictly a pro-life clinic, which is just another way to stir up feelings.
Yes, it is.
All right. So, I'm digging your story, but I just wanted to throw that out there that
well, there's both.
You got to be careful about terms.
I agree with you. I agree with you. This specific place that I'm talking about that happened this weekend, they were an actual pro-life clinic, right? Now they were, and so that's the reason I use that. But I agree with you that there are a lot of places that are these safe havens, is what I more want to call them, for people to make whatever decision that they're there, right? And they're not advertising, they're not putting, all this crazy stuff. And you know what? I think that's perfect because, that makes it more welcoming. That makes more people willing to come in and not have the fear of judgment. So yeah, I agree with you, Tom. We have to be very careful, but that's the only reason I use that term because that's actually what that one was. But yes, I agree with you 100%.
Because and I know for some people this is a very touchy
they don't
subject.
Have right my uterus. Sorry, my bad.
This is a very touchy subject, but it does need to be talked about. We're not all going to agree on what we believe. But the thing about it, I know Summer's story, Summer knows my story. But if me and her can have this back and forth, that says something. That says that people can have a disagreement, not get heated, because we both we're keeping our cool with this. And that's why I love having this discussion with certain people, because I know I'm not gonna, they're not gonna say anything that will make me mad, and I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna try to get them mad, and we can sit and have a discussion. And Tom, I will say this now, thank you for letting us do this.
Oh, hey, as long as we're not arguing, I have beliefs. They're very strong beliefs. They're very harsh beliefs, which is why I don't, get into the debate. To me, there's, I don't need to debate it because you're not going to change my mind and I'm probably not going to change yours. So what's the point? Right. Talking about the issues that surround it, a very necessary thing.
Mm-hmm.
I agree 100%. I think if we could do this on so many different subjects, I think we would be a lot further along than we are. But it starts with us, and we're doing it. So hey, high five to everybody. And Tom, you always rock.
Well, thank you.
But Tom, I will say this now. Tom he's a lot. I'm gonna say this, and I mean this. Tom's a lot like Zach. He will let people talk about what's going on, not interrupt them, and it's like, that's why I love coming over here and speaking with Tom. Tom's a great person to actually talk to because I have done it backstage and everything, and it's kind of nice. He knows what he talks about, so, and I appreciate that.
I'm going to address a comment because I see it keeps getting repeated. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm just avoiding it. And I respect your decision on you feel that men have a say in things. I'm going to have to say I disagree because if that was the case, then I wouldn't have been able to do what I did. But I understand why people feel that way. Just for me and mine, if I had to, then it's my choice.
So, and I'm going to ask you this way, Summer. If you're in a committed relationship, shouldn't the man have a say then?
I have 10 kids, so should that tell you anything? Right? So when I was in this, for me, this situation, you know, just like I feel like if a man goes, and I use this verbiage all the time. I think it sucks, right? Because I think there's a lot of people out there that either don't want to have any more children because they already have enough children, or maybe they just don't want children. And they're not in a relationship, they're not in any of this, and they're just like, I want to get my tubes tied, right? And that can't happen. They have to have approvals, they have to be married, they have to be certain age, all this, right? But a man can go get a vasectomy, and my husband don't even have to have a conversation with me, which I do think, you know, as married couples, we should have those conversations on both situations. But it's that double standard, I think, that really sucks, right? It's like, okay, well, if he goes and gets a vasectomy, which I probably would be like, hold up. You know, now I'd be like, go for it, buddy. You know what I mean? Because we got a lot of babies. But so, yeah, I think in a committed relationship, a conversation should happen. And I'm not talking about dating or anything, but I'm talking about marriage, a committed marriage. Yeah, I think a conversation should happen. But at the end of the day, I think it still should be a woman's choice. And no disrespect, guys.
Let me throw this. I had an abortion forced on me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to have the abortion, but 50 years ago, folks, I was 19 years old. And the girl found out she was pregnant and made this decision to do this and then disappeared. So my question, and she did this for her own good, granted.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose she had decided to carry that baby and the baby's born, and then I disappear for my own good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's a lot of semantics and logistics to each.
Yes, there is.
Story and situation, and it's not just a cut and dry black and white issue.
It's so complicated. It's really a depressing subject.
It's a terrible subject.
It is.
Well, here's trouble to change the subject.
What's going on in here? What's going on in here?
Look at this.
I'm all sexy and stuff.
Did you
all
shave
up close,
today?
huh? I did.
Did you? Okay.
So you know the bottom looks like the top. He had to match it.
Oh yeah. The curtains match the drapes.
Yeah.
How was your day, sir?
It was great. It's always great.
Good.
Very great. Very great. Got me some more preps. Got me some work done, but for the most part, lazy. Lazy day today. I mean, it was lazy day at work, but it was lazy. You know how that goes.
Nothing wrong with a lazy day. I wasn't afforded that luxury, but that's fine. You can be lazy. That's fine. And brag about it.
Everybody froze. Crap.
How you doing, Mr. Ghetto?
I'm doing all right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
That was crazy. Everything went shoo, shoo. My freaking YouTube was hacked. So I'm wondering if it has to do with StreamYard too. I'm doing great though, man. How you doing?
You don't
AC?
have no cliffs collapsing out there, do you?
No, not yet. We're not
All
buying no cliffs, so we're good. Did that tree finally fall?
Not yet.
Dang, I'm all down there and shit.
It's gonna though. I mean, there ain't no way it can't.
They're not doing anything to take it down or anything like that. They're not cutting
Man,
it down.
I guess they're afraid. See, they could go up the back. They can go around this cliff.
Lasso
and
it
land
up.
up there that they can walk. I think they're afraid to walk out that far.
Oh,
Close to the
okay.
edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
So let's just pray it falls in the middle of the night and nobody's under it.
Well, I would imagine if it does fall and somebody's driving by, that'd be a hell of a lawsuit. I mean, if it doesn't kill them, because
Who's gonna
this.
sue God?
No, I mean you could probably sue the county or the city for not taking it down. It's I mean, it's just hanging there.
It's a menace
No,
to
it's not
society.
hanging. It's standing.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a menace to society, man. It's gonna
Sort
tear
of like
your
you.
It's gonna tear your hood up. Hey, I'm an upstanding citizen here.
Right.
No, I impose a new rule in my house. There is a little alternative side road. We're not driving down that little 8th mile stretch of road anymore. They can have that.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
I don't know whether everybody knows what we're talking about, but Friday we had a rock fall incident here where tons of rocks, I mean literally tons and tons of rocks, fell down into the road and took down all the fiber optic cable and telephone lines and all that. Yeah, it was a mess. But
Dang.
Go check out his most recent video, y'all. That was really good video.
well, thank you.
Man, I can't believe how big the freaking rocks are. I mean, I know Laura's, a smaller lady, but geez, them things are huge.
They were huge. Yeah.
Yeah. And nothing like that's happened since you lived there. So in what, 120 years, ain't nothing like that happened?
Not right in that area. Now we've got these knobs on the other side of the river from us, and sometimes you'll hear this crackling sound, and you'll look up and see dust. But that's out, and that's not going to hurt anybody.
Right.
These cliffs here appear to be solid,
Yeah, it reminds me of I-80
but they're
from around
obviously
here in
not.
Oregon. Big ass cliffs just on the side, like when you're going through the gorge, Columbia
Mhm.
River Gorge and stuff like that. And there's just big rock cliffs. They usually have fences and like fencing and stuff around the actual rocks to keep them from falling off, and like little stuff from falling off.
Well, for all this time, man, it never seemed necessary. It looked like solid
Yeah.
rock. It was cracked, but
Right.
it didn't look like it was ever going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then somebody told me, where did I hear this? That there was an earthquake in Virginia somewhere.
What the?
Would the Mariana Trench affect that?
That's we're right on it.
Oh yeah, I was
That's the
I was
one that
thinking
runs up through
that.
Tennessee and up into New
Dude,
England.
that's a major one, brother. If that goes off, you guys are looking at catastrophic damage, just like me and Virginia over here on the West Coast
On San Andreas.
with not even just the San Andreas, it's the subduction zone. So I mean, this thing goes from Canada all the way down into Mexico, and it's connected to the Ring of Fire.
Okay.
And I was expecting it to go off already just because all the volcanoes and stuff that's been going off these last couple of years.
Well, Mother Earth is constantly changing, and the mountains will eventually end up in the sea. So
That bitch is going through menopause right now. She don't know what the
Yes.
hell
He
is going on.
is dead. Mad with a
Need more
vengeance,
water.
baby.
I'll be right back.
All right. As much as I love this planet, man.
Hey, I love Mother Nature. She's a beautiful thing, but man, she's pissed. she's
Right.
pissed.
Right. Oh, I know, Silver Girl. I was just saying from on the panel, me and Virginia, West Coast,
Mm-hmm.
Is that G-Ma Merkel or what, Virginia?
I have no idea. I'm gonna
The
figure it out though.
right? 'Cause she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
God, it's so nice to I bet.
No, you good. I was gonna ask you how your day is, but go ahead, ladies first. You good?
Oh shit, my day's been good. I slept till like almost 8 o'clock. Because I worked all night last night and now I'm back at work. So
Nice. Nice.
What are your duties there? If
Um,
someone has a problem, they come to you, or
yeah, so like you know, because I'm on the street so much, I know most of the people that are here. So I have a different relationship and a different level of respect between them and me. So when I come in, you know, my job really is just to make sure if anybody needs anything, you know, talk to people if they need it, all that, right? But because I have a relationship with them, I really sit down with them and just, you know, hey, what's going on with your life? Like, what are our plans tomorrow? And then, you know, if there's situations to try to, you know, monitor and say, okay, no drama. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like now, tomorrow night, I'll be on the streets and then I'll come straight to the shelter. So, but we feed people. We do movie nights. Last couple of nights, we watched Shrek the other night. That was fun. Today we watched Adam's Family. So,
Right.
you know, it's really just trying to get people to understand that they do have people that care for them, and that they can trust us, and that they have a safe place. And we're working through a lot of trauma, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of, you know, they've seen the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? So it's just build them up, meet them where they're at, and build them up.
So what's the next step? Is there a job seeking type of thing? Is there
Yeah, so we actually have like I think 15 people going to work right now. So that's good. So this is how I see it because I'm in the housing arena. This is kind of a stage one. I do run a women's shelter, and so like if there was ever any women that once they got a routine and they, you know, because having a curfew and things like that is not, you know, something some of us are used to. So once they get that under their belt, and I mean they have access to work here, they have access to get recovery support, they have access to get mental health support, housing support. We bring all of the resources in the city right here. So there is an advocate from each branch of whatever. It could be disability, it could be medical, it could be food stamps, it could be anything, after they sit down and have an assessment that they need. And I mean, like we have a couple that is going into housing in 3 weeks. Their voucher finally, because we have these vouchers here in Louisville, and their voucher finally came through, and so they're going to get an apartment in 3 weeks, and he's working, and you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, it's all right. I think it's what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
What does
You know?
NSP mean?
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought somebody had used the term on the panel while I was gone. Moonchild.
No.
was asking.
How much? Let's see. Other than my, how much is soap? So soap is what is it? 15 and I think it's 20, 25. It's 20. Shit, I forgot. I can't think right now. My brain's been also overloaded. That was the last thing I've thought about. I haven't really shipped anything out yet, so I don't know how much it'll be, but I'm sure it's only a couple dollars. So, but that would be in the purchase of the soap, unless somebody wanted to donate it more. But and all the soap proceeds go to helping women come out of human trafficking.
Summer, if you want to slam a link up, you're more than welcome to. You know.
Yeah, I
look
have.
at soap.
I might come back and because so right now I was using Facebook page for my business page, and I got put in Facebook jail the other day. And so one of my right, I'm in Facebook jail all the time, unfortunately. But this time they struck my business page, and so that my business page is unfortunately still in holding for another 15 more days. So if anybody wanted to buy any soap, you could just email me at summerdickerson79@gmail.com. And then I'll put that. I'm on my phone, so I don't know how to put it in the
Summer.
chat.
I'll get it in there. I'm getting you up right now.
Thanks.
All right,
for
And
cool.
Summer.
Or you can come on my. Oh, go ahead.
I was
If
just
you
going to say,
want,
I'm still on a 60-day ban from doing lives on Facebook.
Oh God, yeah, they get me every time. I look good in
I got
orange.
like 15 days left.
I'm
Thanks, Cindy.
surprised. I am surprised because I stream to Facebook. I have not been banned yet. With the stuff that Tom, you know the stuff that I share. I think you've been on you've seen my streams that I do on Facebook, especially the political side of it. I have not got a ban yet. I don't know how that's not happened, but I've been watching very closely what I say and what I do on Facebook and on YouTube.
AC, let me tell you what got me banned. I mean, these people jumped on me with both feet. This is what I posted. It was a text, a picture of a text, and it said, "This is no scam. Email me to find out how to turn your $500 into my $500." That's pretty innocent. That's just a joke. And another friend of mine pointed out that's not why they banned you. They banned you because of your logo, your profile picture, which is a Confederate flag,
Yeah.
and with all the stuff you post. Now, here's the funny part of this. And maybe I've told this story before, but I'm old, humor me. On inauguration day, I posted day one of illegal government, and in capital letters, "Fuck Joe Biden." And I have done that every single day. What day am I on now?
500.
473. They have never even warned me about that. But they nailed me on turn your $500 into my $500.
Well, this last time they put me in Facebook jail, it was 420. The date 420. We were putting a community event on that we were going to have resources. I was going to sell my soap, it was a whole thing, a little cookout, all that. And yes, it was at a dispensary for CBD, but whatever. It's we can do that. You know what I mean? Like, we can do that. And so they sit there and they ban me, and they said that, and I said, I'll be selling soap here. And they banned me and put me in Facebook jail for 2 days and told me that I couldn't be selling drugs on social media. And I was like, who the fuck does that? That's stupid. I argue against it. They tell me, oh, they made a mistake. They left the poster up and kept me and came back and gave me an extra day. So I had 3 days in Facebook jail. Then after the event, they came and said, oh, you violated standards again. We're putting you in Facebook jail for a week, and then took the flyer down. I'm like, everything that I talk about, and this is what y'all get me for, like, are you serious right now? I talk about trafficking. I talk about all of it, right? And I show protesting. I do all kinds of stuff. And see, that's it. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't stand them. Yeah. But so now they hit my business page. That's the first time they've done that, because I run about 10 groups on Facebook, and then I have a couple pages. And Esther's Soap Company is the page. So if you're on Facebook and you want to send me a message through there, and Silver Girl, I am checking my emails. I've had so many. I didn't realize I had that many. So I'm working my way up. I'm almost to yours. So I promise I'm going to get to you, beautiful. Thank you for being so patient with me.
And Summer, I will say this now. If you would like, I will give you the same offer I gave to another person here on YouTube that I get along with. If you want a website, I can get you a free website. I will do it for you. You don't have to pay me a dime.
Oh, that would be a huge blessing. Like, yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for offering that. Because I have a website for my organization, which is www.owky.org. That's for our ministry. But I don't have one for the business. So that would be a huge blessing.
Hey, Indy. Hey, V. Hope you ladies are having a good day.
Yeah. Oh, I got so much stuff going on. I need like 5 of me. God. I got too much going on. How was your day, Ghetto? You asked how mine was. How was your day?
My day was great. It's always great. Woke up. I was still sexy. I ain't got no more wrinkles. I ain't got no
Of course.
gray hair.
Had no dignity.
Can we just mute him now?
I didn't wake up with any dignity. No, still hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Keep dreaming.
How was your day, Mrs. Virginia?
Not bad.
All right. Mr. Tom, what'd you do today? Out in the yard?
I made love to a lawnmower all
Okay.
afternoon.
Awkward.
Sounds like a toxic situation.
And I got more to do.
Well, yeah, your freaking property.
Dude, look at this pizza.
Well, that made me sad, twisted. Thanks.
The Oreo.
LB, is that Marlon Brown?
It's Dineros or something. DiGiorno, I don't know, Diorisos, but it's freaking huge. I ain't never seen a pizza that big. Like, shit. I'm a bad camera person.
Back.
My bad. Sorry. Squirrel.
Love.
That's probably what Ghetto's dog would be thinking if he's seen something. Squirrel.
Yeah, you ought to see me when I'm speaking somewhere and I'm going good. I'm getting heavy into it, and then I just have this like trauma brain syndrome, and I completely forget what I'm talking about. And I'm like, squirrel, and then everybody starts laughing, so it's good. But yeah, it happens.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Hey. My bad, John. I'm trying to find something to drink.
Tom, did you see what Boris said?
About the cop in New York?
Yep.
No, I just now noticed that.
See, I do not like that, okay? Like, I just want to say this for the record. Yes, I'm 100% against police brutality and, bad things. And yes, there are things that happen whether people realize it or not. But I do not think it is okay to be going around shooting cops.
Mm-hmm.
That is
I
not
don't
okay.
think you need to.
Never.
I'm gonna say
And that's not
this.
the answer.
I'm gonna say this as someone that supports 2A. The only time anyone should ever be shot is if they're coming into your house to hurt you. That's the only time it should ever happen.
Well, it's
in my
somebody that fights
opinion.
against police brutality and things like that. Like, it's so frustrating when I see things like this, because when this happens, it should never happen. But it's people that are, just sitting in their car, or people, you don't do that. You don't do that. It sets everything back. I don't like that, because like my kid wants to. A lot of people are like, what? My kid wants to be a cop. My son wants to be a cop, and I want him to be a cop. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what he wants to do. And I want him to come home every single day. I think I want citizens, and I want people in power to be able to go home.
Right.
So that's so sad. I'm definitely praying for his family.
I wish I could go home with Virginia.
Whatever.
And
She smells so eloquent tonight.
What does eloquence smell like?
Right?
Oh, you know.
I want a bath.
You know, girl. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you guys follow that jailbreak down in where was it, Alabama?
Yes,
Yeah.
I followed
I
it.
I live in Alabama. That cop is dirty as can be.
That's why she killed herself, because she ain't going to prison.
Exactly.
Yeah, she shot herself.
That's why she killed herself. No sympathy. Sorry, you do stupid shit. You know.
Oh,
Whatever.
she supposedly killed herself?
Oh, she
No,
shot
She did.
herself.
Yeah,
She
she
did.
shot herself.
So what do
It's
you
a clean
think? She had
case.
a Bonnie and Clyde complex, or
Yep.
what do you think? Is that
I
that's
think-
kind
I
of what I
think-
thought?
So, as someone that has, I don't know how many of us in this watching has actually been with somebody in prison, you learn the, I don't know, the Rico Suave type thing. And she definitely she has, had a lot of insecurity. She got caught up in that. And yeah, I mean, corruption, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. She broke him out of jail. And then that's what, I mean, she's probably told him, if we get caught, I'm going to kill myself, because she knows a cop in prison is a dead cop.
She had
So-
nowhere to
Sold
go.
her
Yeah.
house. She signed her
Yeah.
retirement. She was
She knew
ready.
what she was doing.
It was all or nothing time.
Yep. 100% all or nothing.
Yeah.
Because I was
So-
following the story because I live in freaking Alabama.
Right on.
I was like, what the? It was just,
So did they catch the dude?
yeah, the
Yeah.
dude's
Yeah, he's in jail.
The dude's in jail.
Yeah, he's back
Oh,
where he
yeah.
belongs.
He, I mean, he's still got a murder trial going on. Like, he's like,
Right.
screw it, I'm going back to jail, right? She was like, she knew that a dead cop, and I mean, a cop in jail is a dead cop, so like, or in prison. So like, she like Virginia said, it was all or nothing. She knew the day that she got him out of jail, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
that she was like, all right, I'm getting rid of the house. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And this, we going balls to the wall. And that's
And
what she
he had
did.
nothing to lose.
Right.
Absolutely.
He's
Nothing.
already up for capital murder. Nothing
Yep.
to lose.
Nothing at all. So, they took the opportunity, and that opportunity took her life. So,
Right.
I mean, but she signed up for that. So I don't feel bad for her. I feel bad for her family and friends, but it is what it is. She made that decision.
How the hell do you get caught though, man? So stupid.
Because the
Oh,
the
they
government
did
knows
figure that
everything.
shit out for real.
Man,
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Plus, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
sloppy
They
as
even had
hell.
me
Stupid
looking for
shit.
those people. Those people didn't have a chance in hell.
They were so sloppy about it. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, you trying to hide?
What?
Like, nah, you ain't trying.
Well, I didn't watch any of it. I just seen little posts on YouTube. It was trying to force me to watch it, but I didn't watch any of it. I just seen a blonde chick and a dude from prison, and that was
Yeah, I
it.
just did a simple search. Like when it first came around, actually, what it was, there was a meme going around of them singing, and I was just like, all right, I didn't sing this so many times. I did a simple little search, and as soon as I seen it, I was like, yeah, she knew what the hell she was doing. Because there was
So-
conversation. Oh, maybe he took her hostage. She didn't take her hostage. She sold everything. She
Yeah.
did this.
Yeah.
So she got him out of prison, and then they did what?
Bounced. They just drove around a little
Yeah.
love spree. Probably
Drove
was
around and then got caught.
Yeah.
Really, they were stupid as fuck, honestly.
They
so
were-
sloppy.
they
Using credit cards, you going by
Oh,
places,
yeah.
the
Go to
cameras were.
hotels. They
Yeah,
got
they
caught
were-
in a fucking car wash. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Come on.
Right.
Why are you at a
And
car wash when you're on the
As a
run?
past criminal, you don't do that.
Oh, jeez.
My kids would have been able to get away with that because I mean, come on, man. Yeah, so getting that in the,
It's just stupidity.
some pure, pure stupidity. Because like, really, you're up for capital murder. Did you really think they weren't going to look for you? You know what I mean? And a guard is with you. So at one point they did think that he took her as hostage, but then looking in a simple search like I did, you done sold your house, you closed your bank accounts. You ain't a victim.
6'9". You cannot
the
hide
video
a
of him leaving in
6'9"
jail.
dude.
She wasn't
Right.
hostage.
There's no blending in.
Nah, no sympathy. She, you play with fire, you'll get burnt. That's a cliche remark, but she knows better, and she chose her job and her whatever over some dangling. So
Man, I didn't watch it. I'd have been rooting for him.
oh yeah, I was.
surprised.
I'm like, go baby, go. But I knew they. I mean, they were too. It would be different if somebody that knew how to hide and made it a little harder for them. But they didn't even make it hard. I'm like, come on, you're a cop, dude. You know what tactics they're gonna use.
I
She
would-
should have been able
I
to
would-
hide.
Right?
I would
That's
say
what I mean.
something, but
Right,
I
we
will be-
we did it.
I will behave myself. You said that they should have made it harder on the cops. There was probably something already hard, but it didn't work out the way she thought it would.
Well, that she was stigmatized. That's why they got caught. She's a cop. She should have. So anybody from the streets, it's okay. Like a cop's supposed to do a cop's job. A criminal's going to do a criminal's job. Yes, you're supposed to make it hard for them. Catch me if you can type mentality. And she knows their tactics. Like, what are you doing? You get caught in a car wash? Yeah, you was stigmatized,
Right.
baby.
It was sloppy as fuck.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
I'd have been able to hide quicker than that. Better than that. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was funny.
Where were-
I mean,
Virginia,
Yo.
you're facing life in prison. I'm a corrections officer. I
Bouncing.
break you out of prison. Where would we go? Money's
I
not a
thought
problem.
about that thinking about this story because I think your best bet is to get out of the country. Probably Mexico or going south is probably better.
not
than
Mexico. They can extradite you in Mexico now, so you don't want to go there. If you're going to
they
go out,
can now. Well, I
Yes,
still
they-
think you can blend in more, and especially Ghetto and I, we could probably blend in south of the border.
oh yeah, my mom lives in
Canada is
Mexico,
more
so
sparse. There's more people down there.
And it would probably be
You could
easier
use
to
it as
go
an
somewhere else
scapegoat for
from
sure.
Mexico.
Right, Tom. And if you were going to stay here, I would say go someplace in the hollers or something like that. and just set up shop and don't go nowhere.
Go-
You know, if you're going to stay in the States. If not, you could use Mexico as a first getaway, but then go to somewhere they can't extradite you,
I
and then
would-
you're set.
If
What
I had
I
all
would
that
do-
cash, I would go to the center of the biggest city in the country
Right.
and just get lost.
Right.
And just
Yeah.
and just be like becoming agoraphobic or something, and just
Yeah.
stay in one spot and period.
You got to
Yeah.
blend in somehow, but blending in with numbers.
I did, Miss Cindy. I did say that. Stigmatized.
Yes. I
I
would
still
just,
say get
I
out
would
of the
just go to
country.
Russia. I just go to Russia. I'd be Snowden.
Orale. Kick him off the panel, man. Anybody want to go to no Russia?
Actually, there's some argument for
My
that.
wife loves.
I want to go somewhere warm, so forget some cold air.
Yeah.
Right.
My
I
bones
had
hurt.
heard
though.
some speculation that this guy, as soon as he was secure, and she started getting on his nerves, he was probably going to kill her anyway.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so could have happened.
As soon as he
She
had
wasn't
what he
going to
needed,
live through this.
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Nope.
And that's where her delusion was in, right? That's where she's stigmatized at, because she couldn't see past that he was just using her as a pawn.
Yeah. She was the best key.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, if you could, that's ideal, right? If you could get somebody,
Locked
somebody
his ass
in the
out.
jail, 100%, you can get a guard to get you out. I'm out. I'm not mad at him for going against the system. I ain't mad at him at all. Like,
Yeah,
like
it was-
I'm mad
It was
because
a
you didn't do it.
decent plan until they got out. See,
That
really,
part.
she fucked up. He
Yep.
got himself out. She
Yeah.
dropped the ball after they
Well-
got out. She was the one on the outside that could have made a plan. Could have
Her
figured
follow
out
through
some
wasn't
shit.
planned.
At $100,000 or more in cash. Come on.
Yep.
You
Yep.
go to
And that's what I
try and
said.
spray paint a Geo Metro. Come on.
Well, that's what I said. She knew. She's a sheriff. She's not just like a beat cop, right? She's a sheriff. She knows what tactics they're going to use to go and do this, to go find them. So, like, come on, dude. You dropped the ball.
And-
You dropped the
And
ball.
for crying out loud, she is the head of the freaking jail. So
Right,
she
that's what I'm
not-
saying. She's a
she,
sheriff.
She not. She.
She was a department head. She wasn't the main head. She only gave a little head in a certain.
Yeah.
You gave some head, all right. She should have just stayed on her knees where she was good at.
I wonder who gave more head, her or Monica Lewinsky.
Probably Monica. But
I
Monica ain't
remember
dead.
that, MB. I'm the only hell my mama ever raised. Love it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, she should have just stayed where she was good at. She didn't think through it all. And that's the sad part, because it's just like I'd have loved to have been cheering them on, like, go, go, go. But dumb.
It is sad. She was so stupid. She sold
Oh.
everything she had, and maybe it was a death wish, and maybe she feels like she went out like Romeo and Juliet.
I guarantee you in
You
her
know,
mind, that's exactly what she
Like
thought.
that in her head. But think about how despondent that is to give up, sell everything you own, that is one of the biggest risks you can take, really. If you think about it in society, is being a guard to break someone out and go like 2 states across the South.
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't know if this is true, but I've heard this, and it hasn't been on the news. Someone said that she was close to said she had cancer and it was terminal.
Oh, really?
it could be.
Didn't she
No.
get lost her husband like within the last 2 years or something?
Yeah, she was
Yes.
a widow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's been
Something
through. I mean,
inside her must have broke. Really.
well, that's what I said. She had that because when you're dealing with people in the prison system, there's a certain mentality. I mean, there's women that'll get these letters and be like, "Oh my God, these letters are so perfect and these poems are great." But what they don't understand is one person writes them, everybody in jail gets them, right? So they're really good at what they do. They're really good at manipulating. They're really good at gaslighting. She's the perfect victim.
Hmm.
But at some point, she has to take ownership because victim in the beginning or not, she made some conscious decisions. You know what I mean? So
Oh, she has accountability for sure. And
Right.
Twisted, I can see where you can find something special for sure. And it would be easy to get into a relationship with an inmate if you're like 5 women and there's couple hundred of them, and then some other men as well. But
Well, and
still,
right,
it
she's
would be
vulnerable, right?
yeah, somebody
Her
will
husband,
crack your code.
100%. Her husband just passed. If this whole cancer thing is right, or, that is real, she was the perfect person to them whisper them sweet nothings, and then I mean, when women like something, we like it, and so that was something that was probably talked about. Obviously, that's why they broke out.
So do you guys think that we should not have women running men's prisons or in any capacity, like something could happen like this?
100%, 100,000%. Women should not be in men's prison.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna say
They should not be allowed to even see a female. Period.
I'm gonna say,
Oh,
I agree with
I'm
that.
gonna say this now.
I
I
agree
don't
with
think
that.
men should be in women's prisons.
I
Right.
agree with that
What
too.
about
I agree with
100%,
homosexuals?
100%. Both sides.
If we
Good
go by
grief.
gender alone, homos are still going to get through. Someone's getting fucked.
Well,
Oh, they're
Well,
getting.
that's actually happened. So there has been a
Tom,
woman.
get her off of the panel.
There has been already an inmate that went to a woman's prison and hadn't had the change yet, and ended up raping inmates. Yes, that's already happened.
There, up in
Yeah.
New
Dude,
York,
that's what I'm
there's
doing when I get
I
caught.
think
That
there's
was
like
just
three
recent.
or four. There's 3 or 4 women in a New York State prison, I think,
I wouldn't
that
rape
are
nobody,
pregnant.
Hmm.
Well, that happens all the time, like and with guards and stuff like that. As someone that's been to jail,
And also
male
transgender
guards.
inmates.
Yep.
Hmm.
All the I mean, again, it's just one of those systems that has its own rules and regulations that none of us know about unless you're in it. And it's to cut down on some of that, yeah, but then you have delivery people. I mean, I've known girls in jail that got pregnant by the people that bring food to the prison. You know what I mean? Because again, that's just this messed up little world, and we have a lot of worlds and a lot of systems in our beautiful country.
Mhm.
You know what we should start protesting? We should start protesting that they only have 2 separate prisons for 2 separate genders. What is there, like 70 genders now? We should
Right.
protest that there should be 70 different prisons.
So we should have an L wing, G wing, B wing.
Right? I mean, come on. Let's.
Just like we want in
But
society.
can we put the P wing with the general population so we can just get rid of them?
I'll be right back. I'm just going to mute myself. Sorry.
Okay. Angry, we're gonna put you in the Z. We don't know yet. It's
Oh
just,
yeah.
there you are.
I'm just there.
No, I'm
He
messing.
he wouldn't make it in general population. Just saying.
Yeah,
No,
you'd
I'm
have to go
saying,
into one of
shouldn't we
those
just
wings.
put the P wing because you were going through the LGBT and all that? Shouldn't we just put the P wing in general?
As long as I'm not in the bat wing, we're good. Well, we took Tom to the gutter. Congratulations.
You took me to the gutter.
Yeah,
I
we
had
went-
just climbed out of it too. Damn.
Tom, have you ever really been out of the gutter?
right.
I wonder.
Yeah, bunny as a pronoun doesn't work. Not at all. No, twisted. A batwing. BAT as in Tom. Batwing. You know what I'm talking about. He's fucking with me now.
Oh, where's my camera? Oh, there it is. Dude, check out these new Pyrex. Well, I don't know how new they are, but check out these Pyrex dishes, man, that I got for my wife. I got another order of them today,
Mhm.
but they have I'm using them for my cigarettes, but they're glass. There's a casserole one, bread one, or whatever, but they all come with these sealed lids.
Nice.
They're freaking great, dude. Got my wife another order of them today. Just a
And they're
random
real
store.
Pyrex.
Yeah, they're real Pyrex too. Yeah. So that way, because she likes to make, casseroles and all that such. Because I was gonna get She was like, "Fuck these people." So disrespectful. See that, man? Just don't say bye. Don't say nothing, huh?
Oh, she'll be back, won't she? Virginia, you just didn't take off like that.
I'm in
Yeah,
the
Nobody
box.
just takes off like that.
Right? It's just so disrespectful. But no, anyway, so like with the casserole dish, they got lids for all sizes of it. So, you know, once she's done cooking and put it in the fridge, you can just pop the seal on and
Isn't that handy?
oh man, it's beautiful.
She's got a round one made like that. The
Nice. Yeah, I
macaroni.
got it. I got some of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent like 50, 60 bucks today just getting them. I got her 2 little orders of them, the bowls and then the casserole dish. She's learning how to make zucchini bread and banana bread because I haven't been eating breakfast much. I don't do cereal. I don't, you know, and I used to do donuts. I don't do donuts no more. So it's like, you know what I would eat every morning would be some banana bread or some zucchini bread. So she's gonna try it out. Try
That
to
might
figure
be
out a
good for a
recipe.
little breakfast snack. I have a piece of pound cake every morning. Put it in the toaster and then slather some butter on it. Oh Lord.
Oh, that's you put
Oh,
it in
that's
a
some
toaster.
good stuff, man.
Man, I never thought about putting pound cake in a toaster.
Oh man, that's the
Never
only way to
heard of
eat
that.
it.
Now that
That
does sound good.
sounds fire, dude.
So you stick with the old guy. You'll learn some stuff.
Right.
The old guy.
Now, what's the difference between angel food cake and pound cake? I know the density is different, but do you know the
Well, and the
difference?
color is different, and the
Yeah.
whole damn thing is different, man. The
Yeah,
whole
but they
recipe.
both taste just as good with the strawberry.
Oh,
You
that's
know, with
true.
I mean, they taste just as good. So I always think they're the same. I know they're not, obviously, but
And Virginia's right too.
we don't talk to Virginia. She just randomly disappears.
Yeah, Virginia, you're right. And it seems to be a lot sweeter than pound cake too.
Yeah. Oh, okay, mostly egg whites.
Yeah,
Probably why it's so airy and stuff.
right.
And pound cake is mostly butter.
Pound cake, let me think. The reason they call it pound cake because you use a pound of flour, do you use a pound of butter?
I do believe.
Every ingredient in it, you use a pound. Flour, butter, what else? Sugar, probably. I can't remember what else. I think it's 4 ingredients, but you use a pound of each ingredient. Somebody in chat should be able to figure that out for me.
That freaking yapper.
What? Your dog?
Yeah, man. Oh, I gotta figure out how to stop her from yapping. I think it's hopeless though. She's like 10 years old, so man, she chases that poor big dog out everywhere. He can't even fart without her fucking yelling at him.
He doesn't even have to make a noise.
Man.
Pound cake is good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, redneck, some things in life are really simple, but I was like 69 years old before I found that out.
I have biscuits and sorry, I was reading the chat.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Miss Wildflower? I'm kind of lazy tonight there, Tom. I don't know why. So fucking lazy. You just smoking
Yeah, I
bud.
was, and then I got a little second wind, and
Yeah, what'd you come online for? I missed probably the first hour, first half hour.
You know, I had thought about it. This election deal had me pissed off. And then I guess apparently Jeremy overslept or something, but they didn't come on tonight. So I thought, "Peh, I'll just be my own entertainment then."
Right?
You're, and then all of a sudden you had everyone in the room with you, and it was, and that's how it normally happens with a lot of it, with a lot of you. It's just like one right after the other.
Right.
Oh, it freaked me out. I set it up, you know, with in advance. What, 30 minutes, 40 minutes in advance, and went and did a few things and came back and started to set up. People are already in there waiting. So cool. Thank you all. It flattered the hell out of me.
Yeah, I had to pay everybody.
Yeah, V, I want to watch that. I'm not paying for it, but I want to get it and watch it. I think I have a friend's going to send me a link tomorrow.
Because
You
what I
already have
might
it
try to,
bookmarked, old man.
What you say?
I said you already have it bookmarked, old man.
They took it down. I went to watch it.
Oh, did they? Oh,
yeah.
what I might do for some people, because Michelle bought it, I might ask Michelle if I can borrow it one night and we do a live and go backstage, have 12 people, have 11 other people, and we can watch it together.
Well, that would be great, man, but I can't do that. I can't sit there and watch something. What is it? Almost 2 hours long?
Something like that, I do believe.
Yeah. No, I got to be able to break that up and walk away from it once in a while. But I'm going to get it. But appreciate the invite anyway.
I'm gonna go see if it's free on my TV. Sorry, Summer.
To Redneck, so I run we do a village type for the homeless community, and so this is where I'm at tonight. I do third shifts here. I'm here till 8 in the morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Whew. I do like 4 third shifts back to back. So by Friday I'm whipped.
But yeah, I do want to watch that, but right now I'm trying to not spend as much money because everything's getting so damn expensive. Even though I have groceries and stuff, gas prices and everything else is outrageous.
You got a smart TV, AC?
Yes, sir.
Well, give me an email, man. I'll give it to you for free. I'll show you how to do it. What's it called? 2,000 Mules, right? 2,000 Mules. Let me see. It's probably free right here.
You going on one of the download movie places?
No, I do it through Cinema, so it's through basically through Android devices. You can download the app, the APKs for all the movies and TVs and all that other stuff. You don't have it. Essentially, these apps take from the movie channels from those movie websites, and then you don't have to deal with all the ads and such. Let me see.
But I do
Here,
want,
I'll show you.
and I do want to try to support the man that actually put it on, because he is a good filmmaker.
Good night, Moonchild.
Good night, Moonchild. Sleep
Night,
well.
Moonchild.
Oh
But
shit,
yeah,
where'd you go?
Flew the coop.
He flew the coop.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on tonight, Tom.
Oh, no problem. I'm enjoying myself.
Says right there on my
Oh,
TV.
there you go.
Oh, cool. Because I got one of those Roku TVs.
So we have here
All
at
right.
the shelter.
So all these apps right here, all these links right here are from the internet. And what these APKs do is basically snatches them off the internet.
Mhm.
And so boom, 1080p. I can download it, I can play it, whatever.
And
No,
how big is-
redneck. I will give you my my news channel.
And you got your TV shows. It's basically, if you think of like Netflix or Hulu or whatever, that's basically what they are, but they have every streaming app within the one app.
God, it's so nice.
Ooh,
I don't think I'm gonna watch it though, man. To be honest,
Why not?
I just don't. I mean, well, as much as I know it's true, I think it's controlled opposition for us. I believe they brought it out at a strategic time. That's why they brought the Roe versus whatever out, Roe versus Wade out at the same time. They get all
There-
the they get all the Crips. They get all the Crips all pissed off. Then they get all the Bloods all pissed off. Now we got a gang war. You know what I mean? So it's like, but to be honest, I just don't see the point in riling myself up on something I already know.
Well, yeah, I
And there's-
can't argue with that. I just hope some authority is watching it and fixing to act on it.
Well, I think that authority actually gave it to us. I think they're the ones that let it be made. I mean, you have such a huge criminal, illegal act happening. You really think they're gonna let this, you know what I mean, let this guy run around with a camera and do all that he did for this movie? You think they're gonna let that happen? I mean, just like with the Trump, and I'm not trying to get into Trump conversation, but if you got this such corrupt system and big old bad thing, you think they're gonna let one little old man in there to mess up their plan?
exactly.
It just
He's a
you
part
know.
of the plan.
Because I've had people come after me because I say I'm done with Trump because of Dr. Oz. But the more I think about it, Trump is part of the political establishment. And it shows because of who he's nominated for Congress this coming election. So I'm like, Trump is part of the political establishment that we want to get out of office.
Yep.
Amen, Moose Man. Amen.
Yeah,
That's
he
Moose
is
Man,
backing
you're right.
some people that I'm not so crazy about.
who's that? Trump?
Trump, yeah. He's backing this guy Alex Mooney here in West Virginia. And Mooney's a Maryland politician and came to West Virginia because he thought he'd have a better chance of winning a Senate seat. He's like the trans guy that got on the women's team.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, Tom. That's how well I know you.
I
knew you
can't
were
win
gonna
in
say that.
Maryland, but I can beat a West Virginian. You know,
I hope. Isn't
I
it
think
Joe
ours-
Manchin that's up for election this year?
no, he's not up till 24.
All right.
Hey,
I think
Cola.
our
Good evening.
senator did that. What's up, Miss Coca-Cola? I think our senator did that. Who is it? Ron Weidman, right?
Cola
Or
might have
Blumenauer,
a
one of
point
them.
here. Ghetto Cola might actually have a point.
Man, she ain't got no points.
I think they're both sides is playing both of us, and I think both things really released on purpose, and I think both sides have to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to agree with you, Miss Cola, but I think we tell ourselves that just to make it make sense for ourselves, honestly. Just like with the Trump stuff or with whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? We have a very well planned out system. And as a man of faith, you can tell that it's being planned by the devil. That shit ain't no accident. It's a perfect plan for a worldly situation.
Because I do believe in what the Bible says, and if you go into Revelation, you can see a lot of the things are.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that to a certain extent, but we also got to remember that we're not even in the Bible. We're already gone before most of the hell that's supposed to be brought down on earth actually
That's true
happens.
too. Yep, the rapture.
I agree with Twisted. None of these people represent us. They represent themselves. And what's
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
don't care about us. And they've all shown it. If we really, if we're being honest with ourselves, they have all showed that they are not for us. So how many times, it's like an abusive relationship. Like, things just keep on happening, and we're still holding on, man. We gotta let go of that abusive relationship, and that's all of them.
MB, don't make his head too damn big. The Honorable Ghetto comment. But Ghetto, but I learned so much from all of you guys. That's why there are nights when I'll watch, like if time goes live, Ollie won't even come up here. I'll just watch the actual stream, and it's like I learned so much from different people.
Well, that's why it's so great to get so many different people together,
Yeah.
And you may have the occasional knockdown drag out. We'll try to avoid that, but man, different opinions flying around is a good thing.
It is.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. Yes,
I don't
it
like
is.
it when people agree. Makes for a boring conversation.
I agree.
That's why me and Tom. That's why me and Tom are such good friends, y'all.
That's why I think me and Summer see each other the way we do. It's like we listen to each other. It's kind of refreshing to actually see that today.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously, what we stand, believe in is different, but I can see him and understand why, and his life experiences, and he can understand and why my life experiences, and if we could just do that more, that's where we start winning, because we're not going to agree on every single thing. None of us are. Like every single topic, every single line out, it's just not going to happen, because like fingerprints, we're all different. But we can be, because that's what they're betting on. They're betting on all of us going against each other's throats. They love it. They think it's great. You know what I mean? We're doing it for them. We're destroying America by not really paying attention to what's going on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they love that, and they bet on it, and that's exactly what's happening. So that way they can stand back without their, blood on their hands. But we all know that actually the blood is all on their hands.
Yeah. Well, I kind of have a vision 100 years from now. I think we're going to look back on this abortion issue the same way we're looking back on slavery right now. What were they thinking?
Now that's a very interesting.
What do you mean by what they're thinking? As in,
well, we look back, it was actually 160 years ago. What were they thinking to think that they could own another human being?
Yeah, I get that part. I get that one. But with the Roe versus Wade, what do you mean by that?
And I will piss somebody off, but I'll say it anyway. What are we thinking that we can kill a child in the womb? What are we thinking?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
So, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Hey, Guardian Prepping. Good to see you. Good morning.
Oh, he's in here? I better leave.
10 old ladies playing cards back in the day. Yep, that was entertainment. And at the time, 200 years ago, you were born into a situation that was normal, so you didn't think there was anything wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I gotta beg to differ on that one, man. Well, at
Okay.
least when it came to slavery, because there's just something within each and every one of us as a human being. They knew. I
But
mean, they knew.
but
Economically, they
They
didn't,
still
but
know.
they did. They knew, man. They had to have. And I'm not talking about just blacks as slaves. I'm talking about as anybody, because I
Right.
mean there was plenty of different races that
yeah,
were slaves. But when you're treating another human being in any sort of way with power within you, you get drunk off that power, and they like
Hmm.
that part.
I
I
Well,
don't.
our
I just
politicians don't see anything wrong with the way they're treating us.
exactly because we let them do it. We let
yeah.
them do it. We're all fucking cattle, man. We let them do it, and our kids are going to be the ones that pay for it. Just like our parents. Doesn't look like they were saying the same thing, but our parents knew it. Our kids are going to pay for this. You know that's the constant. Our kids continue to pay for it every generation down the line. Their kids don't, because those same motherfuckers that own people, excuse my language, but those same people that own people 200 years ago are still billionaires. They're
No,
still living off of the money.
absolutely,
The
And
bullshit,
they're
man.
still
absolutely
participating.
not.
They're still living off of the money that they made back then. The
Oh,
I
black
sir.
the
Oh,
black
no.
slave owners, the white slave owners, all the slave owners.
No. I will argue that till the day I die.
I'm not gonna say
That is
So
flat
you're
out not true, Ghetto.
okay, hold on a second, Tom. Tom, so you're saying let's say I'm some cotton we'll just make an example. I'm a cotton owner, right? And I made, or whatever owner, and I made $10 million in 1901. You're telling me, I mean, I can't imagine how much that would be
Well,
worth right now.
1901, that wasn't done off slavery. You got to go back another 100 years, 1801.
Okay, 1801, $10 million, right?
All right.
That would be however many billions of dollars right now. You wouldn't be able to spend that type of money within your own generation. You would have
No,
to, it would be able to spread out a few generations.
what you don't
but
understand is Mr. Lincoln's armies came down and devastated the South and took all of that wealth back to New England.
mm-hmm.
All right.
The South was left destitute. Those slave owners were not rich when that was over. They were just as poor as the slaves.
The
All right.
majority of them,
Yeah.
except for the people that when the war when it was actually over went to the north, because there were people from the south that went after the South lost. They went north. And
Well,
ghetto, and this has been proven over and over again. It takes 3 generations for a millionaire, like it takes 3 generations after someone becomes a millionaire for them to lose all the money.
Right. But
because people that didn't earn it blew it.
right. No,
Exactly.
I'm understanding what you guys are saying. I'm trying to articulate in my brain before I say it, but that's very hard for me to do. So the fact of the matter is even though it got taken and put somewhere else, it got given right back to the system that created the slavery in the first place. I mean, it got sent right back to the people that encouraged and created this entire system. So essentially, that money would still be there somewhere. I mean, I think money is completely worthless in our generation. Don't get me wrong. I think it's just worthless. But I don't know, man.
But the thing about it, we can't judge what happened in the 1800s on the values we hold today.
Exactly. It was a
We
completely
can't
different
we can't
moral.
do it because it was different times. Because Ghetto, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want to see if you actually know this. Do you know the first person in what is now the United States to own a slave? Who he was and what color he was?
Yeah, he was a black dude. It was something Benjamin, I thought.
Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson.
His
Well,
name
close.
was Anthony
Sorta close.
Johnson. But
Don't make it right.
I know it
I mean, it
doesn't
didn't
matter.
matter. It didn't matter what color he was. The system was in place. The people that signed the papers owned people. So how the hell were we free in the first place? You know what I mean? Like the Constitution was written by people that actually owned other people. It's not a race thing for me. It's a slave thing for me. Human
And-
beings are not slaves. We're human beings.
There's
And
been
the-
slaves throughout history, though.
And
That's
there's
the problem.
and that doesn't matter. I mean, yes, there has been slaves throughout history, and there's still slavery going on today. See, they give you
Yeah.
this false sense of hope that saying that it's over with. Well, I'm here to tell you, modern day slavery, there's more people being bought and sold today than ever in history. And I am
Yeah.
a survivor of that,
And
right?
you just
And so
escaped
they
from
have
it.
fluffed,
Yeah.
they fluffed everybody to think, oh, well, we took them out of the cotton fields and all this stuff, but or railroads or whatever. Because as anyone that knows a little bit about history knows, yes, there was slavery in a lot of different areas, right?
Mhm.
But today, I mean, it's just, and you have conversations with some people, and they're like, nah, that's not true. Yes, it is. Yes, 100% it is. You know, and so we have to remember that, like, they didn't abolish slavery. They may fluff everyone and think that a certain type may have been, but it's still
Hey, look at the 14th Amendment. Go read the 14th Amendment. We still have slavery in this country. And that's what most people don't realize. We still have slavery in this country right now.
not.
And
100%.
it's guaranteed by the
Yeah.
14th Amendment. And it's guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. Now, tell me.
Go
And
on. I'm just
Tony, you're
looking for
right.
the 14th Amendment.
When you get
What?
convicted of a crime, you can be put into servitude. You can be held as a slave. It's either the 13th or the 14th. I might have
13th.
that wrong.
13th.
The 13th Amendment. Slavery is still legal in the United States, which most people don't realize.
Yeah, it is.
If you commit a crime, you're not to be a slave.
Well, that's their caveat. Except
Exactly.
as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted.
Sorry, milkmaid.
Yes,
You're
Tony, you're
right,
absolutely right. There are more people being bought and sold today than ever in history.
But milkmaid, thank you for letting me know that. I don't think it's right, and I was getting a little excited, and I'm sorry about the yelling.
You're good. Well, when you get on panels, though, AC, you should probably put your microphone down a little bit, dude. And then that way, even if you are yelling, it won't come
Yeah.
out like that. You know what I mean? You're good. We all do it, man. It's all good.
MB just made a statement that I got to tell this funny story, and I do hate to change the subject, but the story's in my head. My grandfather enjoyed his liquor, and my grandmother, being a teetotal, born again, all that, wouldn't allow it in the house. So, of course, this is back in the 1920s. He'd get drunk and go out in his car. So he had gone 3-4 miles up the road, and a guy caught some fellow stealing chickens and shot him. And my grandfather was up there in his cousin's driveway asleep in the car, and the sheriff came by and pecked on the window and said, "Kurt, are you shot?" My granddad rolled down the window and said, "Well, about half. Why?"
I'm giggling. I'm out full of chips. Sorry.
Oh, for crying out loud, Tom.
He was only half shot. So anyway, I'm sorry. I had to tell
It'll be all
that.
right.
That's an old
Oh, you're
family
good.
story.
That is funny. That is
At
funny.
least, at least he was. I guess if he was fully shot, he'd be dead, huh?
Well, he'd be dead drunk. That's what he meant by half shot. He was half drunk.
Oh, half shot drunk. Oh, okay, cool. So nobody got shot. That's even better story.
And it's funny. Of course, I've known that story all my life, but I had left here for 20 years, 27 years, and I came back here in 1992 to live. And every old guy in this town that knew my grandfather had to tell me that story.
But the thing about it, it probably brings back a lot of good memories of you and your grandfather and everything. So
Oh, it was all good. It was all good. He was a funny man.
Is it falling twisted, or are we building it back up and not even knowing it? You know, different perspective. Everybody says the system's falling, but if we're all enslaved and we don't even know that it's fallen, maybe we're actually building it up, not even knowing. We're creating a society for our kids that is completely irreversible if we don't fucking do something about it.
Any rehab has to involve some destruction.
I agree. I agree.
yeah. But
Mhm.
but as men of faith, is it just being shown to us what's been going on all these years, where it can be out in the, like the Bible says, what happens in the dark will come to the light? Is that what's happening now?
Oh, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
time's kind of irrelevant when it comes to. Sorry, Tom.
No, go ahead.
Time's kind of irrelevant when you speak about the Bible and stuff like that. Dude, we could be here another 1,000 years and then Revelations happens. You know what I mean? It's hard to depend on everything's in chaos. All right, let's go look at the Bible. Bam, we're in Revelation. You know what I mean? Like I always believed since a young age that I personally would live through Revelations. But again, God works outside of time. We could be here another 1,000 years or 2 days. You know what I mean? We may just imagine living through the Holocaust. I imagine they believed that it was Revelation time. You know what I mean? Or living through World War One or two, or
Ghetto, thank you for saying it that way. I've never actually thought of it that way, because for most Jewish people, they don't believe in the New Testament. So were they actually thinking about Revelations at that time? And I'm just saying, because of the ethnicity and everything, the Jewish people, if you're Jewish, you don't believe in the New Testament like we do.
But you can't believe in end times. That's
yeah.
The end time. Like Virginia just said. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Each generation has a different SHTF, and we've all had it. I mean, we've had ancient societies like the Sumerians, Egyptians. All these societies have came and they fell. We can simply just come and fall, and then you know what I mean. Like
next one comes.
Exactly. It doesn't. I mean, our life is what 100 years. I mean, obviously less than that, but not that long. Really isn't that long.
When you think about, because we haven't even had 2,000 years since Jesus has been here, and look how much times have changed since then.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Summer, you didn't mute yourself, Ma.
My bad.
And y'all tell me I'm a sound snob. I'm more a sound Nazi, you know. Yeah, you better mute it while you cough, man. Ain't nobody want to hear that.
That's only courteous. No, man, you know, people have been saying this is the end times since the book of Revelation was written.
Yeah.
So we got no idea. We got no idea.
No.
We don't know the time or the day that God will call Jesus back.
Right.
So
Right. And again, Virginia's right. In other words, we aren't special. I think the biggest thing with us, at least within the last 100 to 200 years, few hundred years, whatever, is that we have so much information coming to us that our brains do not know how to filter out the good and the bad or the, oh my God, you know what I mean? Everything is, oh my God, it's complete chaos. And they've done it by design. I mean, it's detrimental to our society, period.
I'm going to say this now. We have the most information at our fingertips, but we have some of the stupidest people in the world.
Nice. I
You're
see
so
you,
right,
Milkmaid.
MB.
I see you. Hey, Tom, you do me a favor, man, and go ahead and take the wrench from Milkmaid. I want
Why?
to see if something. Well, I want to see if something works.
Well, I'm gonna give it back to her. What do you?
Tom, don't do it. I was look at this old timer. I was
Yeah.
gonna mute her. I was gonna mute her, brother. It's okay. You a little slow. It's okay.
Why do you do this to me?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Well, yeah, if it was up to me, I'd take wrenches from all of them.
I mean, I thought if you wanted to do an experiment, yeah, I'll go along with that. But I ain't doing Milkmaid wrong, man. What's wrong
You won't
with
have
you?
to. I'll do the wrongdoing. You just help me out a little bit. Just take everybody's wrench and let Ghetto have the only wrench.
Oh,
We'll see
okay. Yeah.
It'd be nice and peaceful in here and stuff.
Hell, you end up taking my wrench. I don't even have a wrench.
Right.
You'd be the only one with a wrench.
I wouldn't do no harm, I
Oh,
promise.
mercy. I got to go visit this back porch for just a minute. I'll be right back.
All right, just don't pee on the tomatoes.
Try to, you know,
Oh, come
maintain
on,
something.
man.
I'll be back.
Why focus on me though? I mean, AC's the one over here turning everything into filth.
I haven't said anything filthy in a while. So get the facts straight.
How was your day today, Mr. AC?
My day was eventful.
Guys, I'm gonna jump down, but I'm supposed to be in the chat.
All right,
All right,
Summer.
Miss Summer. Appreciate you
I
being
will
up
talk
here,
to you
man.
in a bit. Bye. Thank you,
right.
Tom. By the way.
We had
Peace.
a bull escape the grazing yard.
You had a bull escape.
Yep.
What, you live on a farm or something?
Yeah.
Do you wake up singing E-I-E-I-O?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
I actually run the farm. The gentleman I work for is in his 70s. He's been through some crap, so I run the farm. He gave me some property and stuff, and I run the farm. And when a bull escapes from the yard, I have to go out and actually help them catch the damn bull.
Right.
So I was putting up with a lot of bullshit yesterday.
Hey, you know, I just realized, AC, with your peg leg and my bad eye, man, we would make a great pirate together.
Yeah, we would.
So you got like a wooden leg, or is it like a?
It's actually the actual leg itself is titanium. It's plastic and titanium and stuff.
That'll work. Nice. You should get you a hollow wood leg. That way you can fill it up with whiskey.
Ghetto.
Walk around.
I got if if it does, if the ish does hit the fan, I have places in my leg where I can hide. If I need to have whiskey or something, I can hide it inside the leg. So I'm
Wow.
good. I am good.
That's the definition of a hollow leg, huh, Tom?
So I'm all.
Ooh, Zach's in here.
that
No.
term used to be reserved for a guy that eats a lot.
Oh, was it? I thought it was for drunks. The hollow leg.
No, well, no, I've heard a guy that eats a lot. He's got a hollow leg.
Well, first off, what the hell does the leg got to do with either eating too much or being drunk?
Well, if you just kind of use your imagination,
Just
how
going
the
down.
food was filtered down and
All
your
right.
stomach doesn't fill up because it goes into your hollow leg.
Right.
You got to spend more time
No,
in the
no.
country, man.
Why does everybody keep saying that?
So
You're
you'll
not
know
the
what
first.
we're talking about.
I always thought it was beer or liquor, beer, or whatever.
It could be,
Huh.
I guess. It could be.
Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Moose Man. I'd be hiding me a few little
Weapons.
guns out there.
Absolutely.
Moose Man, I didn't say everything that I have that I can put into the leg. Now, did I?
Why Zach ain't in here? What the hell?
Hey, Summer,
Where's-
thanks for coming up. If you're not going to come back, appreciate having you.
Yeah,
And
she
Milk-
said she was done with you.
Well,
And Milkmaid, I wouldn't do that to Ghetto. I would let you do it, but I'm not going to do what you said earlier, a little bit ago.
What's that? Beat me up?
Nope, sick the bull on you.
sick the bull.
I am the bull. So you were explaining what you started the stream for. What was you pissed off about, Tom? I don't think you ended up finished what you were saying.
Oh,
I missed like the first hour of it, brother. I was on the phone
Ghetto.
and
It's
I
a
came in
tragedy,
and I was
man.
just messing with you.
It's
What's that?
subversion of all that's right. We don't have paper ballots in West Virginia anymore. Had to use the damn machine.
Oh, forcing you to, huh?
Don't get me started.
And Tom, what part of West Virginia? You can
I'm in
put
the
it in
eastern-
private chat.
I'm in the Eastern Panhandle. Anybody can know that.
Hmm.
If you ever heard of a place called Seneca Rocks, that's my playground, or was my playground when I was young.
So
Because
now,
I grew up about half hour, 45 minutes west of Wheeling.
Oh, that's way up north.
Uh-huh.
How were you 45 minutes west of Wheeling and still in West Virginia?
I was in Ohio.
Okay, that makes sense.
I lived in Ohio. I was 45 minutes west of Wheeling.
All right.
So to give you a little idea, I do know where you're talking about. So yeah, that's why I was. I spent more time in the mountains of West Virginia than I did in Ohio on the weekends.
Nice.
So now, as a majority, you think everybody's for all these electronical deals, or what? I mean, why are you guys letting them do it?
I never thought they would. And what I was told, if I don't like it, tell somebody at the courthouse.
Well, let's get some people together and get down there to that courthouse. I mean, you would think. I'm just thinking when I think of West Virginia, I think of some pretty hardy people that wouldn't do the type of shit that we would do here on the West Coast. Let's say, you know what I mean? Like just kind of let it happen.
There's too many people in this day and age that are going to get told, sorry, that's the way it is. Yeah, MB's name. That's just the way it is, Tom. Nothing we can do about it.
Well, see, that's why they get away with it, because we tell ourselves that there ain't nothing we can do about it. There's tons we can do about it.
What are we going to do?
We
Refuse
just got
to
to
vote?
do the yes.
No.
What happens if not one person votes in the state of West Virginia? What would happen?
That ain't gonna happen.
But what would happen? That's what I mean. Like, what would happen if everybody refused to use them, and they all made their own paper ballot or something like something to that effect? I mean, what are they going to do? Arrest everybody?
Well, I'm sure they have some
what?
definition of a legal ballot that now includes this damn machine. You know, now you can still do write-ins on the machine. Nobody told me how, but
so what does that mean? Well, like you write on the screen or something?
If you don't, I guess that's what you do.
Oh, okay. Like probably like on a credit card machine or whatever, where you sign your name.
Well, it's a touch screen machine where you touch the name. Oh, you weren't here. They gave me a cotton swab, like a Q-tip, except it was about 6 inches long, and it only had one swab on it. But it was good, man. I cleaned my ear out with it before I voted.
So you touch it with the swab?
Touch it with the swab. So,
Tom, you didn't go back there with the fucking. Go ahead. Sorry.
It was just so stupid. I assume the swab is because of sanitation, shall we say?
Yeah, right.
So I'm done voting, and I hold the thing up. You got to know all these people I know. I went to school with most of the people that were there running the election. All right. Ain't nobody in the room but me and Laura. This is how small a town this is. So I'm cutting up. And I forget what tirade I went on in there, and one of them just kind of cleared her throat and pointed at a sign that said no political discussions are allowed in the room on election day. But so I hold the swab up and I said, so what do you want me to do with this? Put it in the trash or put it in this cup? There was a little paper cup there with about a dozen of these swabs sticking in there so that anybody can come in and pick one up and use it. She said, oh, it doesn't matter. You can put it back in the cup. So where's the sanitation?
Well, what the hell would be the point? No, just put it back in the cup.
Yeah, just put it back in the cup.
Fuck?
They didn't really care. You know.
And you didn't.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Tom. I'm just wondering why the hell you didn't shoot do something to you didn't have a conniption fit there? Like, what the hell?
What's the point? These people aren't in control of anything. They're just sitting there. Hell, they ain't even counting votes anymore. The machine does that.
Oh, man. I would. No, I hear what you mean. It's like it'd be like yelling at a customer service operator because their company is a piece of shit. You can't really, it's not really doing nothing but making their day worse. I get that, but I would have done that, Virginia. I literally would have done that. I would have slapped my ass and then wiped it all over the fucking machine.
I threatened to touch it to my tongue before I started voting. Guy that took me back there said, you probably shouldn't do that. No, I was telling earlier, I went to school with most of the people in the room, and one of them was probably 15 years older than me. So there's no sense in giving these poor people a hard time. They're living through it like I am.
Yeah, I get that part, but good grief.
So then my next objection was how at least a third and maybe close to a half of the places on the ballot where you're supposed to vote, no candidate filed. That bothers me worse than the electronic voting. That nobody around here cares enough to run for office.
Would
That means
you?
all these incumbents are, man, I'm 70 years old.
No, I mean, would you want to?
Man, 20 years ago, you're damn right I would. I surely would. After seeing that, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing about it, people are getting so fed up with the system.
We're not, though. We're obviously not getting fed up enough. We're allowing it to happen. We're getting lazy. Well, we're already lazy. We're so lazy that we need a fucking machine to do a job. And
Think
that
about-
goes beyond the political stuff. There's machines everywhere, and we're letting them be there.
Ghetto, think about this. We got homeless people that weigh 300 and 400 pounds. What's that tell you? We got homeless people that weigh 300 or 400 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely don't have a homeless problem like, let's say, South Africa or somewhere else to where they would never have a chance to even be overweight. I get what you're saying, but this system is so fucked, guys. Oh,
It really is. It
is.
really is.
Oh man. And I'm just
I can remember growing up, and I'm not sure how old you are, Ghetto. I don't remember. You probably told me.
25.
Bullshit.
But I look 25.
But
No,
I can remember.
I'm 41.
You're the same age as me.
Yeah, I remember.
But the thing about it, I can look back where we didn't have this division in this country. Where
Well, we didn't know we had it.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. Go ahead.
But that's very true, because when we were kids, we would play with people. It didn't matter what color they were. We were just friends.
Yeah, I mean they're still doing that though. They're in all neighborhoods. Race doesn't matter with us.
But when you look on the news, everything's about certain identity boxes.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, when Jen Psaki introduced her the person that was going to take over for her, she didn't come out with the qualifications first. What did she say? That she was part of the LGBT community.
The first.
Yeah. I'm like, what the? That doesn't matter to me.
These are their qualifications, man. The whole daggone cabinet.
So AC.
That's true.
When I was a kid, if that cabinet was at the carnival, I wouldn't have been allowed in that tent where those people are.
Right.
That's what a bunch of freaks these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they're proud of it. This is progress.
Hey, Tom, I think I got an idea, though.
Tell me.
I think we can get a politician in there that we want. The first thing we got to do is we got to get AC to wear a dress. And then we put his name in the ballot, and he's a surefire win, man.
Not with that leg.
Not with
Dude, that might it'd be the first transgender amputee. That might even help him. And I'm sure he's probably got 3 nipples. I mean, that might help too.
Oh, come on now.
That is good.
That is, I mean, fucking hey. Well, you gotta laugh instead of cry, man.
I'm
laughing. It's one of those moments.
I might just laugh so much I might actually cry without. But that was, Ghetto. I have to give you props. That I'm not. I have to come and cut that off of the stream and actually put it on my channel and just have fun with that one. That was good.
Hey, I'm sure that'll be one of our new presidents. Wouldn't that be some shit? Wouldn't
the
that
only
be some
thing
shit,
Biden's
Tom?
missing, man? He's got to have a transgender amputee
But look, 2024, wouldn't that be some shit if some transgender dude came out of the freaking closet somewhere in one of these states and be like, I'm running, and then all of a sudden he was in? Like, I mean, could you imagine
Strictly on
The
that
play-
qualification.
just on that? And it's possible. We know it's possible.
I
You
don't
know
believe
what
that.
I would. You know what I would
We're
actually do.
watching it, brother. Just
You
like
know what I
you
would-
didn't know that there wouldn't be no machines.
Let AC finish here.
Now, fuck
You know what
AC,
I would-
man. You know what I'm saying. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what I could do? 6 months before the 24, at the beginning of 2024, move out to California. Say I'm running as an independent for president, and say I'm a transgender, one-legged, just to get elected president, and I would turn everything around. I would really screw over a lot of people with that one.
Sabotage the whole idea.
Sabotage the political establishment.
Man, maybe California, but I pray to God, and I say that in all seriousness, there's got to be enough voters in this country that would balk. I mean, be reviled by that shit.
Maybe it's the I don't even know. I don't even know how it works.
Look at 2000. The only thing I'm gonna say, look at what happened in 2012. Everything that went wrong in the first 4 years of that presidency, and he still wins in 2012. What's that tell you?
I think the same thing that was going on went on in 2020.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't think the man was that popular.
But it's like I said, we have all the information in the world at our fingertips. And most people do, because most people have a cell phone. But we have some of the stupidest people in the world.
But I think we
Or
equate
even
that
in
to
history.
knowledge. I think that's our downfall. We equate this technology to knowledge, and it's not. It's written in fucking dumbassery. I don't even have a word. I mean, there's not even a word invented yet for what we're looking at right now. We can get our phone. I can go and
Good
ask
morning,
if
Sharon.
I can go and ask Google if freaking Hunter had a laptop, and it'll be filled with no, 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 no. That doesn't mean it's true. I mean, this big wise little box that I have right here is telling everybody that it's true. So you know what I mean, though. It just
Information isn't necessarily knowledge. That's
it's
what you're
not
saying.
all. Yeah, I mean, I know I ain't articulate myself. I'm tired today. Sorry, Tom, but it's just. It's that veil, I think. You know what I mean? It's that veil that I think we're trying to look through the veil, thinking we're seeing all these different things. It's the same reason why I more than likely won't watch that movie, the 2000 Mules or whatever. Like I don't look up certain things. There's certain things that even books, it's just common knowledge, just common sense. You already know some of the things that you're looking for. You know what I mean? And you also got to ask yourself, why are you looking for certain things? Because people aren't getting that neither, because these little devices tell us what we need to be looking for and doing as well. Like when we get on here, let's say I just turned my computer on for the first time in the day. And you go into YouTube or an app or your browser or whatever, it will guide you to exactly where it wants you to go. Just by little just like pre-set up little fucking programming, just like when the TV, you know what I mean? The TV, it always had that little program and stuff. I can't articulate it right, but
The TV guide.
Yeah. Everything guides you literally to where it wants you to be, and that right there is a system that really does need to be broken. Because, and I'm running on what you said, AC, and I'm not blaming you for it. But because we think it's so much knowledge, because we think we have so much, um, because we think we're so smart. You know what I mean?
Ghetto, can I should I rephrase that? Rephrase it like we got all the information in the world, but we still have the stupidest people. We have
No,
the
I
information.
agree with you. I do agree with you that we have all the information. I just think we have just as much disinformation as we have actual information.
That
Just like the
very
war
true.
over there in, Ukraine or whatever, blowing up buildings that don't even have fucking furniture in it. Excuse me again, Tom. There's none of it. I don't know, man.
Nothing is adding up to make
It's
sense
not.
with everything.
It's not. So that's why you got to create and you got to make sure your own reality is good, what you want it to be. Just like Tom, as much as he hates mowing his yard, the fact that he's got a beautiful ass yard, that's his reality. That's a beautiful life. I think we take a lot of those things for granted. Not saying he does. I'm just saying that, once we look into our own reality and our own surroundings, our home, our wife, our kids, or whatever we do, if we're a single person, whatever it is, if you're not waking up happy, then that is your fault. You have to do something about it. We can't just constantly blame the devices or the system or, oh my God, the sky's falling or political, whatever the hell. You know what I mean? These politicians, they ain't got shit to do with my life. In the grand scheme of things, when it comes to making money and working and drinking the water out of my tap, stuff like that, they control all that. So I understand where they belong. But if you overwhelm yourself, like a lot of people in this community does, if you overwhelm yourself every day by each and different catastrophic event, I mean, that's not a life you should want to live because you're in constant chaos.
This is profound. That's very, very true.
Right. Right.
No, man, I don't hate mowing my yard. That's my peace. That's my escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get out there, get lost in my own head. Sometimes that's a scary place, but usually it works out.
Right.
Like when the bull got loose, it gave me a break in the monotony of what I was doing today. It was like, this is gonna be fun. I can have some fun with this. I can do something different. It was just to break up the monotony, and it was like, because for me, I don't find my peace on YouTube or around people. My peace, my serenity comes from the man above me, comes from God. That's where my peace and understanding comes from. Because when my leg first happened, if you told me years down the road that I would be laughing about it, I would have said you are crazy, because I was so pissed off. I was so hurt. I wanted to hurt everyone around me. Right. And now Ghetto makes a comment with my peg leg and his bad eye. We make a good pirate. I start laughing. I find humor in the things that most people are like, how can you find humor in that?
Right.
Because
Tom was just talking about that the other day.
My peace doesn't come from man. It doesn't come from what's going on here on earth. It comes from the man above, the man that I call Father, the man that I call God, because that's what it is for me. I can find peace with my life story.
Yeah.
I'm a survivor of an abortion. I had someone start a machine on me that I lost my leg. I've been in motorcycle accidents Me on a motorcycle versus a semi, because the semi driver was drunk. I've had
shit.
crap happen to me, and I'm like, what the heck am I still doing here? And this was in the past. I'm like, why the heck am I still doing here? And then I've realized it's because God's given me peace with the things that's happened. My biological mom, I've never met her in my life, but I had forgiven her for trying to have an abortion with me.
Right.
Do I have
Yeah.
health issues because of it? Yes, but it doesn't ruin what I have today. My life's not perfect, but the thing about it, my peace, my serenity, my joy, I can look and I've sat outside earlier this morning and I was like, just feeling the cool air. And it's like, life can't get much better than this.
Oh, that's
Right.
such an awesome way to be able to think too, man. Hey, Zach, you have a
perspective.
great night.
Night,
and,
Zach.
you know you were more than welcome to come up. So we'll see you. See you tomorrow. buddy.
No, you weren't welcome up here. I'm about to mute him. I mean, who else can say they muted Zach?
Very few. Redneck Prepper, good night to you too, sir. Thanks for coming by.
Good night, brother.
No,
Night.
AC, you kind of got to think that, you know, God has something in store for you, man. He needs you for some reason. May not be apparent to you right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it works. Pretty much how it works, dude. I don't know if I did say it on panel, but shit, man, I was born addicted to heroin, dude. I came out that motherfucker. I mean, I don't remember it. You know what I mean? But I imagine that helped out on all the other freaking stuff I put myself through as a younger dude, as an adult or whatever. But at this point in life, and even back then though, even going through the hardships or whatever, dude, it's all about perspective. You know what I mean? It's all about your own reality.
Yeah.
Because like the other night when the three of us was up here and Bug Out was with us.
Tom, I love you. I gotta do it, dude. I gotta do it.
What's this?
I'll try to see that you get out.
Hey, man, he threatened me. He threatened me. I couldn't help myself, Tom. He threatened my life.
Who threatened you? What are you talking about? I'll John Cena you. I got no clue what that means.
Well, John Cena's a wrestler.
Okay.
So basically, he was saying, like, I'm a body.
He's gonna. Yeah, I got you now. Get him, Zach. I'll
How's
hold
he
him
gonna
down
get
for
me?
you.
Tom, you can't see it from StreamYard, I guess, but I muted him, and that's why everybody.
Oh no, you didn't. Zach doesn't have a wrench.
No,
what the?
Shit.
Oh,
that's hideous, man. Oh, now I gotta wait 5 minutes. Shame on
no,
you.
you should be able to go up and actually give
You think I can undo that?
You can click his name and give him the wrench, dude.
No, dude, the dots won't even
I
come
am
up.
gonna say this. You're an asshole.
Oh, it won't? It should be able to unblock it. He was going to sleep. He'll be all right.
No, I can't. You'd think I'd be able to undo that, but I can't.
No, another Mark can actually
do
it.
Dude, I feel like pitchforks and torches are coming on their way to the StreamYard panel.
He ought to have a wrench when he gets back.
It's a perfect time to go be right back for 5 minutes.
Night, Garrett.
Oh, man.
He'll be all right.
Zach, I'm sorry. You know I didn't have nothing to do with that.
Man, I got to look. Zach, I'm going to show you. I'm going to screenshot my text message. Tom, sent me a text message saying, "I dare you to do it. I dare you to block him. Mute him for 10 minutes. I dare you."
Uh,
No, he was going to bed, dude. He might not even know if he got muted or not. He was going to bed. He was
Well, he
just
said he was going to
listening.
listen. So,
Yeah, he was just listening.
all
I'm
right. Zach, don't pay no attention to Ghetto. He don't have good sense, man.
Ghetto.
I'm so broke. I ain't got no sense.
Zach Ghetto is just like the trolls. He doesn't know when to fucking stop.
I don't.
Oh, wow. Well, folks, it's 5 o'clock. I think I'm going to chow down on some shake and baked chicken. What do you think of that?
Ooh, that sounds
And
good.
she made cornbread last night. That stuff's so sweet it don't need butter.
Oh,
I don't
there
know
we
how
go.
she made that, but man, that was good.
Nice.
But, yeah, so I got to get back on that lawnmower tomorrow too. So I can't sleep into the afternoon.
Would you get half? What do you usually just do, half in one day and then half the next day or something?
I worked on it for a couple hours yesterday, and then I worked on it for a couple hours this evening, and a couple more hours ought to see it done.
Oh, well. How many acres is it? You don't mind me asking.
I'm estimating I probably mow about 6. I have a
Okay.
total of 10 and a quarter, and some of that's
Oh.
riverbed, some of it's woods.
Yeah.
I've
Man.
been meaning to send you an email. I got to find the picture, but I had a buddy come up with a drone, and he took a picture.
Oh,
And Laura took it into Photoshop and marked off the property lines and
yeah.
the streams and the river in different colors. You ought to
Oh,
be able to put that up on your TV and get a good view of it. So I'll find that and send it to you here after a while.
right. All right. Nice. Nice.
Anyway, having said all that, I greatly appreciate all you fine folks in chat for coming. I appreciate it, man. I feel so supported. And Ghetto and AC, it's always fun to have you guys on.
Yes, sir.
MB,
Even
I
though
think
you
one of these
invite
days
me.
you ought to click on that link and come up. Got a feeling it would be a good visit. So think about that, please. And my throat's getting sore and tired and dry. So anyway, I love you all. God bless everybody. Resist. Good night.
Freedom.